The Z to Z Podcast.
Good morning, good evening, or good day, and welcome to the Z to Z Podcast, the home for Xbox Achievement Hunters and Gamerscore junkies. I'm your host, Brandon Freem. Well, I'm actually not your host, but thank you so much for listening. At Z to Z, we love gaming, and in particular, grabbing achievements and gaining Gamerscore. We do news, reviews, and interviews. If it's got achievements, we'll unlock it. Well, Tarragon and I take the week off and let Randy and Proulx talk with the man with a million. Yep, Rand L. Thor 19 returns. And I know Rand and Proulx, I mean, if I know them well, they should be singing the praises of Destiny 2 reveal this week. I know I'm excited, and I'm guessing that they'll get around to some listener feedback, but the last time I left them the keys of the show, they skipped all that and did whatever they wanted anyway, so we'll totally see. I have no idea. Also, last week, I promised contest winners for April. Totally going to follow through this time. If you can find show notes for this show as well as previous shows on our website, z2z.com. This is episode 75. You can also contact us with questions and comments on Twitter at Z2Z, Z-E-D-T-O-Z-E-D, over at our forums, forum.z2z.com, or email us directly, contact@z2z.com. Today's show is brought to you by the achievement Long Live the King from Destiny. This is, of course, in honor of both the Destiny 2 reveal, which was awesome, and me finally, well, I guess for the second time, completing the game. I've gotten all the achievements in the one version this last week, and I officially put Destiny 1 in my rearview mirror, and I plan to get back to my other massive pile of games before Destiny 2 launches in September, of course. This particular achievement is for completing the King's Fall raid on Heroic. While the difficulty level doesn't change much, only that enemies are harder to kill and do more damage for the most part, none of the mechanics or anything really changed. This raid in particular does have some of the best raid and game mechanics I've ever experienced, so do yourself a favor and give it a run if you can. Try and get a group together. It is amazing. Special thanks to developer Bungie and publisher Activision. And if you, our fantastic listeners, have a suggestion for an achievement sponsor, let us know. Twitter and email are best, but you can also come chat with us over at Discord, discord.me/Z2Z. So, let me throw this over to Proulx, Randy, and our special guest, Rand, and let's just cross my fingers, everyone. Here we go.
All right. Thank you, Freem, for that introduction. Hello, everyone. I am now in charge of the show, and I'm going to take a minute here to address an issue that's come up actually between young Master Brandon and I. He brought up last week's show, which I was not on, that we played some Halo 4 together, and we did. And he kind of, I think, overemphasized the point that he was better than me in Halo 4. He liked to talk about how angry I was getting and all the swear words that I was saying. And, I'm not going to deny any of these allegations because it's all true. But I don't have a problem being terrible at the worst Halo. So I'm just saying, Freem, when you want to play Halo 2 or Halo 3 with me, then we can have a conversation.
We can have a 1v1.
Yeah. Oh, man, that would be great. But I'm not going to get mad that he's better at Halo 4
back in the old days of Xbox Live. Oh, speaking, this has actually just reminded me something that was kind of cool that was... I just kind of stumbled onto my Twitter feed that this week was the 10-year anniversary of the Halo 3 beta.
Oh, I did see that too. Yeah, that was cool.
Which is so cool because I remember that. That was a big deal when that came out.
So does that make this also the 10-year anniversary of Crackdown coming out, right?
Well, now if you remember, it took 8 months for the beta to come out.
Oh, that's
Crackdown
right.
Did,
yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was quite that long, but it was a long time in between when Crackdown came out and when the beta came out.
Man, that was a brilliant piece of marketing, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. I would not have bought Crackdown if it was not for that beta. Let me tell you that. And I remember at EB Games, back in the old country, we had EB Games. like after like a month or so after Crackdown came out and the beta wasn't immediately available, like their shelves were just full.
Yep.
Just full of Crackdown because like nobody knew. I mean, I don't know. Like none of the people I knew that it didn't mean that the beta was coming in a reasonable amount of time.
Man, I actually was on Reddit and I saw that the same kind of thing. People were talking about it, and there was actually really amazing fan art. And I'm like, man, what a weird thing to have fan art of is like the beta, but it was
Halo 3 beta.
Yeah, it was actually pretty cool.
Wait, wouldn't that just be Halo 3 fan
I mean,
art?
technically,
I don't remember much changing.
No.
Some balancing probably, but it looked pretty much the same.
Yeah, technically it was. But
the funny thing is I still have the files for the beta on one of my hard drives. I never deleted it.
I wonder if I do. I actually have no idea. Anyways, so as you can hear,
with that tangent.
Yeah, I'm not the only one on the show this week, and neither is Randy, but it is the two of us as well as Randall Thor. Hey, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. It's always a pleasure to sit in the podcast with my umbrella as the rain cloud pours down upon me.
Just you don't have to be the rainiest for once.
Yeah, well, I'm usually the more cynical one, but man, you take the cake on that one. You take the title from me and you just run with it.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if we can keep that up.
But there's no Freem and there's no Tarragon here to keep you in check. I don't know.
Yeah, well, we got Proulx. I mean, we'll be a little more cynical than usual, I guess.
We'll see. We'll try to keep it. It depends. A good balance.
It depends.
Here. But
I do have something today that made me a little sunny, though. Is I found a book that I really want on Amazon. As I'm sure some people know, maybe people don't know, because I don't know if I talk about this in the podcast much. I'm a big fan of 90s design, like in like architecture and like just everything. Just the really like when you imagine what the 90s looked like, the things that come to mind, like the bad fonts, the weird lights, the neon lights.
That cup design.
Yes.
Jazz. What was it called?
Jazz.
Is it
Jazz cup. Okay. Yeah. Big fan of the Jazz cup. I get really excited when I see those around. But I found some, I think it's a textbook. I mean, it looks like a textbook. If not, it's like some kind of professional book. And it is called Commercial Lighting, Creating Dynamic Public Spaces. And it was published in 1995. And man, the cover, I've seen some of the inside. I only have found this on Amazon. The cover is amazing. And I'm sure it's full of pictures. And it's only $8 on Amazon. So I think I'm going to order one of those because I think that'd be a great investment. I mean, that's $8 for a whole book of 90s design.
Isn't having a job great?
It makes me a little bit sunny.
That's amazing. Yeah, I actually did see the cover, and it looked very 90s-esque.
Oh yeah,
obviously, but coming from that time. But I was actually just going to ask Rand, how about you? Did you play the Halo 3 beta? You have any memories that you wanted to share since we were talking about it?
The memories of Halo. Wow. I'm a huge Halo fan. It's my favorite franchise. It's the reason I'm on Xbox in the first place. You can thank Halo for that. Halo 3 was probably my most anticipated game ever at the time.
It wasn't a letdown either, which was a nice surprise. No, it was really good.
Yeah, and I think I must have put like 300 or 400 or 500 hours into the multiplayer in that. Not as much as Halo 2, which I literally played every day for 10 hours for a year straight. Because I was so addicted to Halo 2.
On point.
Yep.
Man,
but yeah, Halo 3, man, lining up at GameStop, midnight launch.
Yep.
Back when Halo was...
That's the only midnight launch I've ever been to was Halo 3.
Yeah. That was back when Halo meant something, when it was the biggest franchise in gaming, like, not so much anymore. It's still big, but not as big as it was in 2007.
It's not like it was.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, Halo was dominant.
Halo was a big deal.
Yeah, and... playing the beta, I remember I bought Crackdown to play the beta, but I actually got early beta access, so I didn't have to wait to play Crackdown. So I actually got to avoid all that, and I actually played the weekend before it went out to the general public. So like I had my beta, I played enough of the beta where I wasn't like rushing to like put in my Crackdown disc and be like, come on, like because I already played it for like 50 hours. But man, those were the days. 2007, the Xbox 360 was on fire.
Oh yeah,
so many great games.
Literally on fire.
Yeah.
So many great games, and Halo 3 was just icing on the cake.
And Halo 3 was like, when that game came out, like, man, that was a big deal because I think it set a record. When it came out for sales.
Yeah.
And the thing that really impresses me with Halo 3, and I think I said this last time I was in Canada and I was playing Halo 3, is the art style of Halo 3 really aged well.
No, it's still pretty.
It doesn't look bad. Like you play it and it still looks good. I mean, it doesn't look like, the top of the line style graphics, but it doesn't look bad. Like it doesn't look, crinkly and old like a lot of games.
It doesn't look like Phantom Dust. Or like Halo 1, that's what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Actually, I think Halo 2 honestly holds up the least. I think Halo 1 holds up slightly better than Halo 2, I would say, as far as the graphics are concerned. But I agree that Halo 3 is still really pretty. I mean,
because we were playing, because that was kind of our go-to game when, because I'll go back to my hometown and, I hang out with my friends and we all play Xbox, and it's like, what's the go-to split screen game that everyone knows how to play? Halo 3. And there's still a ton of people playing online. So it's easy to find a game. And so we just play it. And when we were playing it, I was looking at it, I was like, man, like this game's still, it's impressive how good this game still looks given that it's like almost 10 years old now. And
and sitting between,
it was a lot of fun.
Sitting between Halo 2 and Reach, it still looks better than both of those games.
Yeah.
I was also going to ask, Rand, I was also there midnight in 2007. Did you get yourself a Cat Mjolnir helmet as well?
No. See, I've always been of the opinion that all that extra stuff is completely worthless. All that matters is the disc and the game that is printed on the disc. All that other garbage that people pay $300 for statues and stuff is completely worthless. Wipe my ass with that stuff.
Excuse me. I love that garbage. It's sitting on my shelf over here right now.
One of my really good friends, he buys every $300 limited edition of a game that comes out, and I'm just like, you're wasting your money. Like, all that matters is the game. I don't care that it's got a statue that more likely than not is broken when it ships. Or any of this other stuff. I'm like, they're fleecing you, dude. So come on, I love my little statues though.
I used to do that, but when they started doing the statues, man, and like if it was like $100 for the game and the statue, okay, that's the game's $60 already, another $40 for the statue. But when they jumped it up to $150, like I remember the Legendary Edition at $150 was like, whoa. Like that's pricey. And it was cool. Like, it was kind of more than the statue. It had the helmet. You could put all the games and it came with all the extra stuff and you could put it all in the helmet. And that was kind of cool. And it was like the first kind of game that came out that was like that. And of course it was Halo 3. So it was a huge deal. I got the Legendary Edition. But I mean, I even remember that like $150 was like, man, like that's steep. And now it's like everything. And it's the same thing. It's just the statue. Like, so boring. Like, one of my favorites was actually GTA 4. Came with a lockbox. And, like, it came with, like, a lockbox and a duffel bag and some other stuff. Then, like, the usual collections. I don't know. I just thought that was cool. Because it just kind of went with the game. And it wasn't that... I think it was, like, 90 or 100 when it came out. So it wasn't, like, the crazy... 150 range.
Do you remember when they came out with the cat helmet, right? And people were like, "Oh, it's so rare! It's so rare!" And then like 3 months later, they were on sale for like $40 or whatever it was, and they're still. I mean, you can even still find them now if you wanted to.
I don't remember the cat helmet. Maybe they didn't come out in Canada.
No, the giant helmet thing. You got it right when you bought the Legendary Edition.
Oh yeah.
The joke is that it's so small that people just assumed that it was a real helmet that they could put on their face.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah. So like that's what I was just going to ask. Do you still have yours, and have you ever tried to put it on Blobby?
I do still have it. No, I have not tried to put it on Blobby. It's in Canada, actually.
Okay. All right.
It's with most of my game collection, but no, it is mostly in the box. I mean, I kind of like to keep my stuff in the box, and I take it out once in a while when I want to look at it. I don't know. That's just kind of how I do my collecting.
My Master Chief.
But I do remember there being, I mean, it may be not as bad as in the US, but I definitely remember there being an abundance of them.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, they didn't really drop in price, but they were around. Like, you could get them for the $150 or maybe $100. Maybe they dropped to $120 like a few months later.
Do you remember the big drama that happened, though, like when Halo 3 came out? Because it wasn't about that. It was about if you bought the system, the Halo 3 system, it didn't come with the game. Do you remember?
I didn't
remember that at all.
Because they didn't want to presume, like, what... Because I remember, like, Frankie Stinkles, he was like... came out and said, well, we don't want to presume that, if you buy the system, that what version of the game you want. So I remember if you bought the Halo 3 limited edition system, it didn't come with the game. And I thought that was ridiculous.
It's like, yeah, that's a great excuse. I mean, I'm buying a Halo 3 system, but I don't want Halo 3. I just want the system.
Yeah.
That was the ugly green and goldish one, wasn't it?
Yeah. That was one of the first special edition systems, though. For the 360.
I actually, my helmet is in my living room wearing a sombrero right now. But just on the same kind of topic, the first time I remember special editions coming out, at least definitely the first time I bought one, was for Halo 2, which was just the tin case, the aluminum case. It was like $10 more, and it came with like a special making of disc. Mm-hmm. Like, I was so pumped for that game, I didn't care. And I haven't bought a ton of special editions or whatever since, but I certainly bought the Halo 3 one as well. And man, Halo was just, at that point, was just everything in my book, and I would have paid probably even more if they had asked for it.
Yeah, I don't know, because I was kind of I don't know on the 150, because I wasn't like, I was into Halo 2, but not. I was late to the party on Halo 2. So I didn't get Xbox Live until the 360 came out. So like, I played a lot of Halo 2 on the 360, but not as much as the people that had started Halo 2 right when it came out. So I mean, that's probably partly to do with it. There wasn't quite as much hype. The one that I got really, really excited for was actually Battlefield Bad Company. Like, I remember hearing that you could like destroy the environment, and I was like, whoa. That's a big deal, but it wasn't. It didn't live up to expectations. Great game. I really enjoyed that game, but just the destruction was not. The gameplay was great, and the destruction was, It was a good stepping stone, but it's a little disappointing. Yeah, man. There were some good games that came out around Halo 3.
Yeah,
there were.
It was a good time to own an Xbox. That's for sure. All right, well, let's,
but now games are all bad, so let's get back to the rain.
Well, they're not all bad. Okay, so let's talk about that was kind of a bit of a trail there that we went on. But let's talk, let's do Win of the Week, and I'm going to start, since I'm in charge, I get to do that. And only because we were just talking about Halo, and because this has to do with Freem as well. My Win of the Week is in Halo. I've been playing Halo 4 for my random to-do list achievement, and when the game first came out, I didn't get 25 challenges, so I've been slowly working on that all month, and it's been a grind, for sure. Like, every day I log in, I'm like, am I feasibly going to get this or not? And if it's like, get 20 double kills, in matchmaking today, I'm like, no way, I'm not going to do it. If it was any other Halo, I could probably do it. I'm not going to do it in Halo 4. So it's been kind of slow going, but I got the achievement finally. I got the Challenger, 25 challenges in Halo 4. So, sorry, Freem, I'm not going to play anymore with you because you were mean last week.
You got to 1v1 him and win.
Not in 4. Not in Halo 4. Any other Halo.
Doing all of them.
Well, not in Halo 4 or 5.
All back to back.
Oh, actually, that would actually kind of be a cool tournament, huh? Like,
it would be.
See who.
Well, and you could do it on Master Chief, too.
You can do most of it in Master Chief. If you wanted to include Reach or Halo 5, you'd have to.
Is Reach not in? Oh, yeah, Reach isn't.
No, there's no Master Chief in Reach, so.
That's true. Reach was good.
Technically he is in Reach, though. Technically.
Well, okay. Well, yes. but it wasn't really his story.
True.
Anyways, we digress. That's a topic for another time. Randy, give us your win of the week.
Well, on the topic of all games are bad, I played a bad game this week, and that game is called Vaccine. And we did do a stream of Vaccine a couple of weeks ago that's up on YouTube if you guys want to check it out. But I completed it. Finally.
Yay!
And it is a very heavily luck-based game, and it's a bad game. I really want to like it. That's the thing. Is I really, really want to like it, but I just can't. If a couple things could make it good, like just tweak it a little bit, and it would be decent. But as it stands, bad game, and it's done and deleted and gone.
Forever.
Bye. All the achievements. So that's got a nice ratio on it. I mean, you could actually complete the game in like an hour. Like if you did it in your first run, you could complete the game in an hour, but it's not going to happen. It's technically possible, but it's not going to happen.
That game was interesting to watch.
Yeah. Well, you played a little bit, right?
I did in fact play a little bit and learned that I hate Resident Evil, I guess, because it was tough to get through.
Did you play that one, Rand?
Which one?
Vaccine.
I have it, but I deleted it.
Good.
Because it
Good
doesn't look
choice.
very good.
Yeah. You don't need to play it. It's okay.
Good choice.
Unless you have like a super love affair with the original Resident Evil, from what I gather.
And
Well,
even so,
I do love the original, like Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil 2, but like when I would watch trailers for Vaccine, I'd be like, this looks really bad.
the problem is the timer. The timer is the thing that ruins the whole game. It could be okay if it didn't have the timer. But man, that timer.
Timer's not very good, huh?
No.
But you got it done.
Well, the issue is it makes runs impossible with a timer. So like there are certain randomly generated situations that you cannot win because of the timer. Like the house is just too big and you can't make it through and back in time. So
But you should check out our stream because it was actually fun to do.
it was, and we're going to do another one soon.
Yeah. And
Well,
next
maybe
couple weeks
details next week.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll confirm it. But yeah, we're gonna do another one. It was a good time.
So how about you, Rand? Did you do anything exciting this past little while that you just want to highlight or talk about?
Well, interesting, because last time I was on here, my win of the week was I had like my best week ever on my YouTube channel. So it's kind of apropos because I literally, like an hour before we started, just hit 5,000 subs on my YouTube channel. So I guess that would be my win of the week.
Nice.
5,000 subs.
Pretty nice milestone.
Yeah, I mean, it's like 1,000, 5,000, and now it's like, okay, 10,000. And then after that, it's like, well, I don't know. Who knows?
100,000, 50,000.
Yeah. Who knows after that, but...
Well, congratulations. That's pretty exciting.
Thank you. Yeah. I like making videos. I try putting out daily content for people to be entertained with. Maybe learn something they didn't know. It's fun. I like doing it.
So I guess coming here on the show is good luck for your YouTube channel. So I guess you'll have to show up every now and again, huh?
Yeah, I guess so.
Next thing you know, you'll be at 100,000.
Before you even realize it.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move into news here. Before the show, we were talking a little bit about this, and it sounds like you know more than I'm going to, Rand, here. So I'll tee it up, and I'll let you kind of talk about it here. Devolver Digital joins the E3 press conference lineup. Is this exciting? Should I be excited about this, and why?
It depends. How interested are you in indie games? And I should say, high quality indie games, because there's Vaccine, and then there's like good stuff. Like we gotta differentiate. Like there's really
like
bad
Ukulele?
indie games. Well, I mean, did you enjoy Ukulele?
I did.
I need to play more of it, but
Except
I
for the
enjoyed what
glitch.
I played.
Right.
Stupid glitch.
It was exactly what I expected it to be. That's what I'll say for Ukulele so far.
So Devolver Digital is a publisher who they strictly deal in indie games, but they deal in very, very high quality indie games. They were predominantly only like a PlayStation 4 publisher for a long time, actually. And they finally made the jump to Xbox, whether it's because of the parity clause is gone. I don't know. But the games they've published on Xbox so far are like Shadow Warrior, Shadow Warrior 2, which Shadow Warrior 2 just came out today, actually. Well, you'd be hearing this on Wednesday, so it came out on the 19th on Friday, they were recording it. So it came out last Friday. They have also recorded like published Enter the Gungeon and a couple other games on the Xbox I can't think of off the top of my head. But on the PlayStation, they've published a lot of games. Hotline Miami 2 is probably their two most notable ones.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a lot of good indie games upcoming. They have like Runer, Absolver. Those are like the two off the top of my head that are really cool. But yeah, they're starting to kind of get up there as a big time indie publisher. So it's kind of interesting that they're having their own press conference, but Nintendo's not. Nintendo's a hardware manufacturer, so usually when I look at it, it's like if I see Devolver Digital publish a game, it's like, wow, they must see something in that, you know? Like, so the game must be good, or at least they think it's really good. And the games I played from Devolver Digital have all been high quality. Like, I would refer to those games like Enter the Gungeon, even though it's an achievement hunter's nightmare. It's a high quality game. It is a very, very good game, you know?
Interesting. Have you played any of those games, Randy?
I don't think no, I haven't.
Yeah, me neither.
I mean, I looked at Shadow Warrior a few times just because it got a physical release, and it's one of those kind of smaller type games that I keep an eye on. But no, I haven't played any.
Well, I guess it's just another thing that we can keep our eye on.
But
for E3.
I will make a comment. If it's at E3, don't get too excited. Is there E3 is when the rain clouds come out.
Is there an indie version of the Lie Engine?
An indie version of the Lie Engine?
We'll have to see. I mean, usually the indies aren't big enough to rent out the Lie Engine for a press conference, but
yeah,
maybe Devolver got big enough. They got a taste of that Lie Engine. We'll see.
I guess we'll see. Maybe, you know what? Maybe the listeners
this is the ray of sunshine.
It could be. The listeners could add that to their E3 bingo card if they're so inclined, or at least maybe some sort of prediction about what exactly they're going to show or do. It'll be interesting to see, at least, huh?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the next story we're going to talk about is Sega's plan to revive.
Oh, I'm excited about this.
Quote unquote. Major IPs. Now, they can't revive Sonic. I think he's gone past his 9 lives or however many hedgehogs have. That's going to be dead either way, I guess, right?
Although that new 2D Sonic is looking pretty sweet.
The one that's not developed by Sega? Is that the one you're talking about?
Is it not developed by Sega?
That was a fan project, is from what I understand.
No.
Or are you talking about the one that's like Generations but slightly newer?
No, I'm talking about the one that's fully 2D.
Yeah, that was
digital only.
Right. From
Sonic
I could
Mania,
be incorrect. Yep. Mm-hmm. That was actually a fan developed game early on, and then Sega hired him on. I believe that's the case. Yes. Now I could be literally making that up, but I don't think that's the case.
There's no mention of Sonic Team here, so.
Yeah, they were doing their thing.
Well, that's probably why it looks so good then.
Yeah, exactly. But you say you're excited about this, Randy. Tell us why. What IP are you hoping that they revive?
Not really anything specifically, but I don't know. I don't really think of Sega as having like one thing that they really, milk to death. I mean, other than kind of Sonic, but even so, like it seems like Sega is just kind of that one big publisher that's kind of slowed down a little bit and still has some gold there. And, maybe they can take that and make something good out of it. Maybe I'm being optimistic. I probably am being optimistic, which is bad and unusual for me. But I don't know. I like Sega, but I don't necessarily have anything that comes to mind specifically. I'm just excited that they're going to do something again.
We've found your nostalgia button, it sounds like.
That's not very hard. My nostalgia glasses are very thick.
What about you? Very thick. What about you, Rand? Like, is this something that you are excited about? To me, it's just meh. I really can't think of a Sonic game that I am interested in. Even.
I mean, Sonic or a Sega game. Well, I mean, I do enjoy me some Sonic, and I probably will play the one that you said looks like Generations. I think, what is that called? Sonic Heroes, or I forget the name of it.
Heroes was the one that came out on GameCube, PS2, and Xbox.
All right.
What is Sonic Forces?
Sonic, yeah, I'll probably play one of those. I do like me some Sonic. But as far as their IPs, I never really truly loved any of their IPs. I will say, though, I am partial to Bayonetta.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I love Bayonetta 1. It's a shame that Bayonetta 2 was only on the Nintendo Wii. So, I mean, if they're going to revive that and put that on every system, I'd be down for that. Or maybe Vanquish, because I love Vanquish as well. Now, I guess those two are Platinum games, but I mean, I don't know if you noticed, they did recently put both those games on Steam finally. So maybe they're trying to gauge, what are people's thoughts, if they're actually going to buy it. But I don't know. I mean, you think of Sega, I know some people would say Phantasy Star or Super Monkey Ball or can't even really think of any other games they got. Man,
honestly. Whatever happened to Super Monkey Ball?
Sega
there was one on the Wii, but I mean, yeah, that's kind of the same thing. I mean, like they've just been pretty dormant for quite a while.
And the thing is they do pretty well as a company too. Like it's not like they're hurting for money, but maybe they see this.
They have a lot of I think they make a ton of money in pachinko machines in Japan.
That's like them and Konami are making. Like Konami's made more money getting out of the video game industry than they ever did when they were in the video game industry with those pachinko machines.
Yeah, and I think Sega's got. I actually saw it at the movie theater the other day. There was one of those. I don't want to call it gambling, but those like kind of impossible to win things that have Nintendo DSs and stuff, and then they're like $2.
Oh yeah,
those type of. It's like the new claw machine that's just as impossible.
The claw.
And that had a thing on that was like distributed by Sega, and I'm like, what? Like. That's weird, but I guess if they're big in that kind of stuff in Japan, it makes sense that they use that knowledge for the rest of the world too.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what revival of any IPs that I could even really like. What was that fish game?
Sega Bass Fishing?
No. The talking fish one.
Seaman?
Seaman. Maybe that's what it is.
Seaman, I don't even think was developed by Sega, was it?
I don't know.
Maybe Crazy Taxi.
Crazy Taxi is fun.
Jet Force Radio or Jet Force...
yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that. Jet Grind Radio.
You got
games... Yeah, you got stuff like that, but... I don't know, like, they don't really... What I want from Sega, honestly, like, I would want Bayonetta or Vanquish... Or I would want Alien Isolation 2.
Okay, I'd be into that, yeah.
But that's not really
revival, they did do that, didn't they?
They did. And they recently also did Halo Wars 2, because Creative Assembly was the developer, and they own Creative Assembly. So Sega made a Halo game.
Oh, interesting. The only IP I can think of is not a problem. It's ToeJam and Earl, and it's already being... revived by an indie studio, by the people who actually made the game. So we're set there. But I mean, I had a Genesis as a kid, and I'm trying to think of anything that.
Well, and I think a lot of the stuff. Yes, I know. I would love that.
They are bringing back Night Trap, though, huh?
That
is amazing.
I'm getting the disc of that for sure. Like, even I don't have a PS4. I'm going to get it anyway.
Well, it's coming out. I'm pretty sure it's coming out on Xbox.
It is, but it's digital only. I mean, the physical release.
Digital's the only way to be, Randy.
No.
Well,
digital's the only way.
Well, I don't know.
See, you're outnumbered this week.
Uh-oh.
It's always nice to have something in your hand.
Yes.
That's what she said.
No, it's going to be.
Say.
It's going to be sealed. For sure. I mean, I'm not opening it because, again, I don't have a PlayStation, but I really definitely plan on getting a physical release because I've actually kind of had a couple opportunities because I've been wanting to get into it for a long time. And I think I said this before, but I really like those old FMV games, like for like the CD based systems. Like Sega CD, CDI, 3DO. I think there's a little bit on the Saturn. I really like those old games, and they're just so goofy and bad.
Terrible.
And just the worst. And I went to a couple local video game stores, and they had some of those games, and I finally got to buy some. That was the first time I'd ever seen a 3DO game in real life. So I was really excited. And then a week later, they're like, Night Trap getting a physical release. I'm like, well, of course I'm getting that. I mean, how could I not?
So I'm looking at a list of some of the stuff they have, right? And of course, we've talked about some of this, but I'm going to list out some of these games. Maybe you might remember. Space Channel 5, right? Space Harrier, Shenmue, which is obviously the third one's coming along, Altered Beast.
I feel like they just published that, though, didn't they? And I looked up Seaman, too. Seaman was just published. It wasn't developed.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Altered Beast is interesting. Outrun. There you go. A lot of people like Outrun. Virtua Cop. I remember playing those in the arcade quite a bit.
Man, could you imagine a new light gun that actually worked? Oh,
and we might be
I'd
forgetting,
stoked.
Since fighters are huge, Injustice 2's just came out, we forget, Sega has Virtua Fighter.
Oh, House of the Dead.
Oh,
how could I forget
yeah,
House of the Dead? I love that. Is my favorite ever.
You got Gunstar Heroes.
I could play House of the Dead all day.
Wait a minute. All right. So bold E3 prediction right here. House of the Dead typing 2. Do you think
no?
No. All right.
No typing. It needs to be the gun. One day, I will when I have money and space. I'm going to buy a House of the Dead 2 machine. No question. I don't care how much it costs. House of the Dead 2 machine, because, man, I've put some quarters into House of the Dead 2. I love that game. It's such a good game.
Yeah.
This is my subconscious optimism for Sega, House of the Dead. I didn't even know.
Yeah, that's actually a really good IP that they definitely could do something with.
Yeah, it's just a shame that there was a light gun for PS3. I don't know how well it worked. That was for Time Crisis, I think. I think that's Namco for Time Crisis. It's also a fun game. I don't think it's as fun as House of the Dead, but
wow, I think
that's the last one, and that was a long time ago. That was 10 years ago or something, because it was early PS3 days.
It'll be interesting, I think, if they are doing what they're going to say they're going to be doing here, bringing all these old stuff back and new IPs as well. Let's hope. I wouldn't mind a revival of Sega. In my mind, they just kind of are, and Sonic is what it is, and you either appreciate it, like some people, or not, like me. But let's hope that they can do something.
And they've got Echo the Dolphin too. I just found a list now.
Echo the Dolphin.
Yeah, but I mean that was big.
Yeah,
and like we said, Jet Set Radio.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Knights. Did they do Knights too? Oh no, they did a Knights on the Wii, which is probably bad because it was on the Wii. So I don't know about that. We'll see.
I think,
but Knights was a big deal.
I think you, Rand, mentioned Phantasy Star, and I played a lot of Phantasy Star Online when that came out. Man, we used to all the time. We'd play that. That would be cool. There was that terrible one on the 360.
Yes, I had somebody run me through all the multiplayer of that one right before it was going to go down. So I have all the multiplayer achievements, just don't have any of the other achievements for the single player stuff.
Nice.
I don't know. It wasn't that bad. I mean, it was clunky, but I mean, it also came out in 2005 or something.
Yeah, no,
it came out on the PS2 first, which is kind of impressive for the PS2, given that it was sort of an MMO, kind of. Yeah,
so that's two developers here at Sega that we're going to see, at least, well, not developers, but two companies that we're going to see here at E3 that may be interesting and throw a little wrench into the plans here. Next up, Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight is going co-op. Now, Randy, you and I were talking about this earlier tonight.
We were.
Neither of us have played Shovel Knight.
I know, and it's been on my I say this about like every game. So it's been on my to play list forever, which it has, but yeah, I don't know. It looks solid, and I mean, there's nothing. I don't know. I don't think I've ever heard anything bad about Shovel Knight.
No, just praise, really. Have you played Shovel Knight, Rand?
I have played Shovel Knight. It is a great, fantastic game.
Is co-op going to bring you back into it?
No. Definitely not.
So not
I've had my time, but it's hard for me to go backwards, man. Like it's all these games come out every single week moving forward. It's tough for me. Like once I put that game down and once I stop playing it, more likely than not, I'm never going back to it. It's done. So Shovel Knight came out 2 years ago now, 3 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I played it for quite a. I beat the game. But yeah, like DLC co-op stuff, not going to get me to go back. Not saying that it's not a good game, because it is. It's just I don't really go backwards. That I know that's difficult for a lot of people to understand when I tell them that, but I only kind of like go forward.
I think it was 2 weeks ago I played through King Kong. So I think I'm.
I really like that game.
Literally on the opposite side of the spectrum.
For what it was, kind of the same thing with like the Transformers game that I was playing. Like for a movie game, it was decent. Like it wasn't. I had fun with it for what it was, and it was short enough that it didn't overstay its welcome.
Not pretty though.
Oh no.
All right, so we don't have a lot to say about Shovel Knight. I will say this: Shovel Knight was cameoed in Yooka-Laylee, which we also just briefly mentioned.
He did.
He was pretty.
So how do you? So Rand, how do you think co-op is going to work in that game? Because it's like a Super Mario type platformer, right? Like 2D platformer.
I have no idea how that's going to work. I don't know. Is it online co-op or local co-op?
I think it's online.
That's cool. That's cool, at least. I wouldn't be surprised if you share lives in that game, like because that game's kind of pretty tough. So I can't imagine like.
Yeah.
You share like a set pool of lives or whatever and things like that. So I don't know. I'm sure maybe there's people out there thinking like, well, now if I couldn't get this achievement before, I couldn't beat it. Now I'm just going to invite my friend in. But
from what I looked at, it seems like it was a separate campaign that's co-op. So it's something that's designed for co-op, and then you have to play that. I
have the release right here, and here is how it works. The co-op will be playable in the main campaign, but not in the DLC. And for what you were just asking about, Rand, if one player dies, then respawning them brings them back, but splits that remaining health between the two of them.
Oh, there you go.
Gold is shared.
Interesting. So you just both play at the same time then?
Both co-op, both local and online.
Nice. That's nice that they did online.
Yeah, well, that's one of the problems of this whole gen is a lot of devs have opted for reasonable reasons like money, because it is hard to add an online component to your game. A lot of games are just local co-op, and it's just like
it's a shame because like you have. I mean, the biggest one that gets me is Overcooked. Why did Overcooked not have online multiplayer? I understand they want you to have like that frantic experience, but a lot of people don't have people to play local co-op games with.
And you can yell at somebody on your headset just as loud as you can yell at them in person. So I don't understand.
It's not quite the same experience, but I mean, it's gonna be good. It's still gonna be a ton of fun.
Yeah, I get annoyed too. Like there's games like multiplayer games that I want to play. Smaller the Power Rangers game that just came out. I really, really want to play it. It's only local co-op, and I'm not going to convince Prumate to play Power Rangers with me. I could probably convince some achievement people to. But I can't. I don't have that option.
And even that can be tough. Even if it has online multiplayer, that can sometimes be tough from all of the people you know online.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a shame. And then it kind of went the opposite direction. As you had kind of the end of the last generation going where, okay, well, there's no local multiplayer at all. You got to do it. You got to do it online, which was super annoying. And then now you have, there's no online. You got to do it local. It's like, well. That's not good either.
It seems pretty.
You need the choice.
I guess maybe that's an example of us being greedy. But I do think that for a lot of these games, you want the players to experience your game in every way that you designed it for. And if it's a multiplayer game, Some people will have that option. Some people will have only the online option, and some people will have a mix of both. And you're kind of cutting your audience in half if you only offer one of those options.
Yeah, and there's definitely been a few games that we've done on Reviews Ed where we basically, it was really hard to review them because it's like, well, this is a multiplayer game, but there's not two of us here. So, you can't really experience it properly because there's only one person here, or, the other person is 4 states away or whatever. So,
and then you have the games
a shame.
That used to have both online and local, Rock Band, but now don't work that way anymore at all. Just to stir the pot there.
Just a little.
So yeah, check it out if you're a Shovel Knight fan. It looks like good fun. I do also want to get to that game at some point. I've only heard really good things about it, and it looks like a game.
And I've owned it for ages. I bought it like a year ago. But
is there an Xbox One version, or is it just?
No, it's only on Xbox One.
Oh, really? I thought it was a 360. Yeah. I thought it was older than that.
360.
Interesting. Okay. All right, moving on. Let's talk about the big news of the week, especially around here because it seems that everybody loves this game. Let's talk about Life is Strange 2.
It's kind of exciting. Kind of.
I
can't tell if you're being sarcastic or serious.
He's actually being serious.
It's kind of both. It's actually because I'm excited that they announced it because Life is Strange was an absolutely amazing game and prompted me to sell all of my games and quit gaming. But and then it was also kind of just like, well, we kind of knew that it was going to happen given that the first one was hugely successful. And all it was an announcement that's been worked on since they released the physical version of Life is Strange. So, I mean, it's nice that it's officially announced, but at the same time, it's kind of like, well, kind of figured, or something similar, because I don't know if it's going to be a continuation of the first story or a separate story.
I was going to ask that.
Either way, I mean, it was assumed by me that with the huge success of the first one, that there was going to be some kind of continuation of, the story, the universe, whatever.
Well, not if spoilers. I guess we won't talk about that. But.
Yeah, I mean, we have the spoiler cast for that, but because I mean, the end of the story is kind of questionable whether or not you could really keep going. So we'll see. I'll get it right away. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I get it right away or wait until everything's released because I don't think I could handle playing it like one episode a month. I just couldn't do it. With that game, I'm very glad that I could play it all back to back because it was perfect because I could finish up an episode, have that crazy wow that just happened moment, go to bed and then play the next episode the next night or whatever. So it was perfect where I could kind of have a day in between each episode and just do them all back to back. Where if there was a long time in between them, I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would have enjoyed it as much. I kind of the same way with TV, as I don't really like to have that long wait. I'd rather just kind of watch it all not necessarily in one sitting, but kind of close together.
Yeah, it's the binge model versus, the way TV used to work. It's the same way that I agree with you. Like all the Telltale games are better played when you can just do as much as you want. Versus having to wait. What about you, Rand? Are you a lover, an absolute lover of this game like everybody else seems to be?
I mean, I enjoy the game. I enjoy the game quite a bit, actually. And, I mean, it was kind of no surprise that it would eventually get a sequel. A lot of people asked for it. Question is it going to be the same characters? And if it is the same characters and if it's literally right after the first game, what ending are they going for?
Yeah,
that's what I'm wondering.
What ending is canon? Because there's two endings. I don't even know if
I wouldn't even say one's good and one's
bad.
I mean, it's kind of like a selfish or selfless. Like that's really kind of what it is.
Paragon, so is it going to be? Is it going to be like new characters? Because if that's the case, I don't know if people are really going to care that much because a lot of, I think like Chloe and Max and stuff like that. I think people care about them in the same way people cared about I'm blanking on the person's name in Walking Dead.
Clementine,
right? And then now this episode of Walking Dead or this season, she's in it, but she's not the main character, so you never control her, and she's in it, but she's not in it a lot. And I see a lot of people like
Lee
be like, kind of like, I don't really care about Walking Dead anymore, because you build up those attachments to those characters, and then like the game comes out and it's like, well, now they're not the star, and it's like, well, I don't really care anymore. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be interesting to see if it's like literally season 2 and it takes place after one of the endings, and you're still playing as
the thing that could
Max.
Be interesting too is, what if they had 2 storylines? So you had to play the first version, and whatever ending you got directly continued the other version.
Yeah,
and so like they're both canon.
Nope.
That'd be crazy.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I know how
that sounds like a lot of work.
This is how it's going to go down. It's going to be, and I'm going to call it right now, because writers do the same stuff all the time when they back themselves into a corner like this. It's either going to be a prequel to
I hope not.
I hope not too, but this is just the easiest way to deal with this kind of a situation. Or it's going to be an entirely new environment, entirely new characters with minor references to...
I think it's going to be that. And I kind of hope it's going to be that, because I think that story was good as a standalone. Just, it can end there and then continue something different somewhere else.
It's just like, think about it, right? Like Rand just mentioned, people love these characters now. So you have 3 options, and you're going to alienate some people either way. You use different characters, some people are going to be upset. You pick a canon, quote unquote, canon ending for this story, you're going to alienate half the people that picked the quote unquote wrong ending. And what do you do in that situation? Like, if you're a writer, how do you solve that problem? I just don't know how. All right, moving on to our final news story here. Ubisoft announces their fiscal year titles. Guys, you're going to be very surprised. Assassin's Creed is on the list.
Ooh, really? Assassin's Creed, you don't say.
Yeah.
The annual franchise making its return.
I mean, remember, this list is generated by the Lie Engine, so keep that in mind. Ubisoft is the creator of the Lie Engine. So,
hey, to be fair, Ubisoft is also aren't you a huge fan of Rayman Legends, right?
I am.
Yeah.
Did they announce Rayman?
No, they didn't.
No, they didn't.
Okay. I mean, that might be good. I don't know. They've been kind of dropping the ball lately.
But
more than lately, but
so
more than usual.
Excited for a new Assassin's?
They're probably going to get the hardest hit the hardest on my E3 report card.
Ubisoft?
They're probably going to get like a triple F minus. That's my prediction.
No way. Not with one of these other titles that we'll talk about here, South Park.
South Park.
Yeah.
You mean Vaporware, the game?
What? No.
Hey, this time they have a release date, though.
Yeah, you mean like the last 4 times?
It's coming, I swear.
But here's the thing.
I'm sure it will eventually.
We went through the same thing with Stick of Truth, and Stick of Truth is awesome.
It is.
See, that's actually amazing that it was still good, because it not only went through the really bad sign of 1,000 delays, it went through a bankruptcy and a transfer to another studio. You
have to remember too, and I can't emphasize this enough, Trey and Matt are super heavily involved in these games, and they are
amazing.
The definition of perfectionists. These guys are not going to if there's one little thing that's bothering them, they're not going to let it go out. And which is great. I mean, that's how you should make a game like this. And that's what made Stick of Truth amazing, was the fact that it was their hand all the way. Well, of course, like you mentioned, there was other issues as well. But certainly, if anybody else had kind of, I guess they're not, you wouldn't consider them the lead developer or anything, but spearheaded that project, I can't imagine it coming out as well as it did. And then here, same thing here. I'm very confident that it's going to be amazing and awesome.
I just think they should stop putting a release date on it if that's the case.
Yeah,
and
for
wait
sure.
Until it's
Totally,
actually done, and then say, okay, it comes out in 2 months or whatever.
The thing is, like, their South Park essentially is so reactive to the culture that, like, the if you go back and watch the reveal trailer for this game, it's already a little dated. So I'm kind of curious. Maybe that's part of it. I don't know if they have other things that they want to do. Like, it's all like an Avengers themed joke, but it's getting a little old at this point. So I don't know. We'll see. But it's supposed to be coming out in October, which I'm very excited about. And that's really the game here that grabs me.
You mean Far Cry 5 doesn't grab you?
Nah, I played Far Cry 4. It was pretty good, I guess.
You mean Far Cry 5 where it's set in Montana and you're like a police officer fighting against like a militia, kind of like Justified TV show, like kind of like a Western setting, doesn't do anything for you?
Nope.
Far Cry is just so overdone at this point. Like, I don't know. It's like Assassin's Creed. It's like, okay, you had a few good ones, and then now it's just like, okay, like you need to slow down.
Well, to be fair, they didn't come out with Far Cries all the time. I mean, granted, Far Cry Primal was last year.
After Far Cry 3 is where it hit the Modern Warfare effect, where it became a yearly franchise at that point, because there had been Far Cries few and far between, just like Call of Duty. And then, you hit that one hit, and then, okay, it's a yearly franchise, and we're going to recycle everything every year.
But was Far Cry 3 came out in what, 2012, right?
Mm-hmm.
When did Far Cry 4 come out?
That might have been 2 years, but even so, I mean, that's the point where it started to just, the Far Cry factory.
Far Cry Factory?
It came out in 2014.
Far Cry 3?
Far Cry 4. So, yep. And then Far Cry 3 came out in 2012, right?
I'm just loading up the release dates here.
Because then
we have... there was Blood Dragon. I mean, that doesn't really count. That's kind of just a spin-off thing.
Primal was last year.
Primal, yeah. So we had Far Cry 3, December 2012... And we have Far Cry 4 November 2014. So there were, 2 years. And then what do we have on Primal? I'm sure Primal was a year after.
Primal was February of 2015. 2016. 2016.
Okay, so just a little over a year. So,
I think the major issue with Far Cry is that Far Cry 3 and Far Cry 4 and Far Cry Primal basically are the same game.
The same game,
most part.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's realistically no difference.
It's what Ubisoft does now. They just have like the kind of empty open world game that they just... you make one and then you just recycle it for the next year, and then you recycle it next year, and then you recycle it next year, and then
do you remember
6 years,
what the
it's
ads
done.
and the reviews called Far Cry 3? Do you remember what the tagline was? Skyrim with guns.
Oh, yes! I do remember that because I'm a huge Skyrim fan, yeah.
Skyrim with guns.
Which, by the way,
I can't imagine it's anywhere near as in-depth as Skyrim. I mean, I haven't played it. I haven't played Skyrim either, but I know Skyrim is a long, long game, and Far Cry 3 is not.
Yeah, it is. It is not. I will say that. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm super excited for South Park. All this other stuff, I could honestly just kind of.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's generic Ubisoft cookie cutter.
I mean, to be fair,
IPs over and over again.
To be fair, the only Far Cry I've experienced was Far Cry 4, and I enjoyed it. And Assassin's Creed seems to kind of have like an ebb and flow where sometimes they knock it out of the park. Like the last one I played was Black Flag, which was awesome, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm not like going to depend on it to be awesome. So also The Crew 2. The Crew 2. Is that too much to say? That feels weird.
Who asked for this game?
Yeah,
I want to know.
Like, nobody played The Crew.
Well, it actually sold pretty well.
Yeah, but it died off real quick.
Yeah, but you got to realize what the way Ubisoft views things now is everything's microtransactions and games as a service. And The Crew was made... True. Like, that is the game that is basically made for that. So it's like, if they're going to continue on with doing that type of stuff, the racing. I mean, they won't do a racing game all the time, but it makes sense. Now, the bigger question is where the F is Splinter Cell?
Yes, that is the bigger question.
Especially with how much they've been milking the Tom Clancy name lately.
Yeah, I mean, because here's the thing. I know people who have played Splinter Cell, the new one. Like, I know them. Like, I've talked to, like, I know it exists. I know it was in development at one point. I know people who have played it. And we haven't heard anything about it, so I don't know if it's like the big surprise at E3 where they're going to end the show with Splinter Cell, but man...
I mean, are you talking like late build or like concept?
No, I mean, I know, like I was saying, I know people who have played the new Splinter Cell.
Okay.
So I know it exists. Michael Ironside is back as the voice of Sam Fisher.
All right.
Like, the problem is like, this was last year when I was told about it. So I don't know if it's still in development. Maybe it got canceled because of Ubisoft's shift towards games as a service type stuff.
The one game that Ubisoft was developing that I'm really disappointed got canceled was Rainbow Six Patriots, because that looked awesome. Like the stuff that like the concept they had for it, you know, it was going to be like a proper Rainbow Six game, not like this Call of Duty thing that came out. And
well, guess what? You're never going to get another Rainbow Six like that because of how successful. You're probably never even going to get the Rainbow Six. They're probably not even going to do a Rainbow Six Siege 2. They're probably just going to iterate on that game forever.
I'm sure they're not. I'm sure I will never see another Rainbow Six game the way I want to see it. But man, that game looked cool. And it seemed to be like, you know, it had some. I mean, I don't think it was like done, but it seemed to be. Well, we're talking the Lie Engine company, so who knows? I was going to say it seemed to have some substance, but.
You know, actually, what I would, going back to what you were just mentioning, Rand, I am way more, what I would be way more interested in would be like a Splinter Cell classic collection or something with Splinter Cell and Chaos Theory and Pandora Tomorrow than a new game. I would love, oh my God, for them to re-release those games on the Xbox One. I can't imagine they are, or I'm not predicting it or anything like that. It's just the last couple that I played, not great. God, I can't even remember the names of them. What were the terrible ones that came out towards the end of...
I mean, Conviction a lot of people didn't like.
Blacklist?
Blacklist was amazing.
I don't think maybe I didn't play Blacklist then.
I just never had the patience for Splinter Cell. Like, I don't think it's a bad game or anything, but like I had a friend that really liked Splinter Cells on the original Xbox, and he would always try and get me to play it with him, and I just couldn't do it. Like I just wanted to go guns blazing all the time. But
we were talking about how big of a deal that Halo 3 was when it came out. Back in the original Xbox days, Splinter Cell was a huge deal, like a big deal for the Xbox. And man, those games were so good. I would just love to play those games again and get achievements with them, of course.
Yeah,
I'd give it a go. If it was like, you know, no microtransactions slipped in, like just a real core experience, I'd try it. I'd try it again and see if I have the patience for it. Because, I mean, yeah, like, I don't think I've ever heard anything bad about those games, and they seemed really good, like, when I played them, but didn't have the patience for them. So good. It's just not, I mean, I'm kind of like Oblivion, like, they just weren't for me.
So, but they did say in some of the Ubisoft, investor calls, some of the interesting things was that Ghost Recon is the best-selling game of the year, and For Honor is the second best-selling game of the year. And that the digital to physical share ratio for both games is about 40% digital, 60% physical. So, like, you're getting almost to the point where, like, it's almost 50-50 now between physical and digital.
I know it's coming.
And the bigger kind of news is that they said every single one of their games going forward will have some sort of live service for games as a service microtransaction stuff. So... Like I did hear that multiplayer is back for this Assassin's Creed, even though because it's been removed the last few ones or last couple ones. So,
well, I'm glad I'm not invested in any Ubisoft franchises. I'll put it that way.
They're doing extremely well. Rainbow Six Siege, huge. Ghost Recon, huge. And you love Ghost Recon, Randy. Come on now. For Honor,
I
huge.
did.
I mean, it's impressive what they've done.
Before it turned into the open world, mostly empty open world Crackdown game.
Without powers.
Yeah. Which is probably better. I mean, Crackdown probably would have been better without powers, but...
No way.
I don't know.
How are you going to hunt all those orbs without powers, man?
You don't have them. That's how you hunt them.
Agent, you must collect more orbs.
Agent, the dossier is incoming.
Okay. Anyways.
Okay, every time Crackdown tweets, because I don't remember, I entered some contest something by following them, so I see them on my Twitter. I just want to tweet some agent comment in response to every one of their tweets. I did the other day. I couldn't resist. Said something about agent.
I feel like if Crackdown was released today, that would become much more of a meme. At this point, it would be
agent.
The whole agent thing would be like a huge.
Oh
thing.
Yeah. Because it's ridiculous. It's absurd how often the voice just yells "agent" at you over and over again. Agent. You don't shoot other agents. It's bad.
Okay. Well, guys, that's it. That's enough news. So let's move into some listener feedback. And apparently, it was spread through the grapevine, Rand, that you're going to be here. So we have some comments for you that you can talk about here. Freem, I don't know if you know who he is. He's kind of a small time player here in the community, but he pops up from time to time. He actually wanted to know how excited you are for the worst game ever. I'm sorry, it's called Destiny 2. Are you excited about that or what?
No, I'm not. I watched the reveal stuff. Honestly, it just seems like Destiny 1.5 to me. Seems like an expansion. Doesn't seem like a second, it doesn't seem like Destiny 2. It just seems like an expansion to the first game. So with that said, will I still play the game? Yeah, I'll probably get the game and I'll probably play it. But no, nothing in that reveal made me go out and say I need to play this game tomorrow. It just looked like more of the same Destiny, which if you love Destiny, that's a great thing for you. But if you're someone like me who is just whatever, then it's probably not a good thing. So,
did you happen to see the gameplay reveal trailer that came out just recently?
I did.
Same thing, right? Same reaction.
And it's a shame because I love Bungie. They made my favorite franchise, and it's just so much wasted potential with the sci-fi universe, the story, and all that stuff to just be stuck in this rut of MMO nonsense where they want you to play the same missions over and over and over and over again to get some meaningless weapon or some meaningless piece of armor that will just be replaced later on. I can't stand the core concept of the game.
Man, and just a side note to Freem here, can we have Rand on more often? Because this is great. I'm loving this. No, I agree with you wholeheartedly. The Bungie that you and I knew is long gone.
And the thing is, it's the gameplay is so sublime in Destiny. It is so good. You're talking master class, right? The shooting, the movement, that whole 30 seconds of fun that they talked about in Halo. It's prevalent in Destiny. I don't think there's a game out there that is that competent when it comes to the gameplay aspect of it, the things you do in the game. It's just that what it wants you to do, to play the game, is just so rotten to its core. You know what I'm saying? It's just...
I know. Preach it, brother. Keep going. I'm loving this.
Yeah. I don't know.
Once I heard that it was you have to play 40 hours to even start the game, I just immediately dismissed it because it's I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, so...
I don't want to deal with that.
This episode
I think that might have gotten better as it got older or something, but...
Yeah, who knows?
I didn't even bother trying to get into it.
Yeah, so this episode of Z to Z is going to be called Destiny is the Worst. And you're welcome, Freem.
Featuring spoiler cast of Life is Strange.
Exactly. Actually, Joe also had a question for you, and I'm not sure what this is about, but I assume you do. She wanted to know what you thought about the news of a Wheel of Time TV series.
Ooh, Wheel of Times. Okay. So this little backstory, I get at least once a month, somebody will either send me a tweet or send me a message on live being Wheel of Time, bro, or they'll do some variation of any of the characters in Wheel of Time because Randall Thor is the main character in Wheel of Time. and obviously my gamer tag is Thor19. So people that have read Wheel of Time and like Wheel of Time will obviously like make the connection. So yeah, like, look, I love Wheel of Time. Obviously, I named myself after it. It was like my favorite book when I was, like high school to college years. Like I read that series nonstop. And we all know like Game of Thrones has become incredibly popular on HBO, which is my other favorite all-time book series. So like I would love to see a Wheel of Time TV show be made with the care and love and effects and budget and acting that they do for Game of Thrones. I would love to see Wheel of Time become a huge phenomenon on TV like Game of Thrones is.
Okay, cool.
I feel like we're kind of in a good time for TV too. Like there's a lot of good TV right now.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually going to ask, as a fan of so just real quick aside here, as a fan of the books of Game of Thrones, I've never watched the show or read the books, and I just recently played the Telltale Game of Thrones game. How do you feel about the game? Okay,
the game's a piece of garbage.
like you mean storytelling wise, or
no? It's like Telltale's worst game. Like, because you have to do pre and post Telltale. Like it's like pre Walking Dead and post Walking Dead, because they've done games before that. They did all the CSI games. I don't know if you guys remember those on the 360.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure a lot of achievement hunters will remember those because they were easy Gamerscore. But they also did like stuff like Jurassic Park. And some of the did they do Sam and Max?
They did Sam and Max, yeah.
I want to say they did, but then it's like The Walking Dead happened, and then it was like, okay, everything past Walking Dead. But like Game of Thrones is easily their worst since The Walking Dead. Easily. Like that series is god awful.
I will say it was super depressing and not fun.
Welcome to Game of Thrones.
Welcome to Game of Thrones.
So, from what I understand, it's par for the course for that franchise. Maybe not the best translation, although we are now, just recently we heard, getting a season 2 of Game of Thrones Telltale. So, that's actually one game, a lot like Life of Strange we were talking about earlier. Not really sure how they're going to follow up on that, because there's a really ton of ways you can end that game. I mean, they're all terrible, and you end up in the worst possible position, but there's a lot of ways.
Welcome to Game of Thrones.
Yep. So I'm interested to see how they're going to kind of carry that over. But anyways, all right, moving on. Agent Yugs. Okay. After listening to episode 72, I'm curious. Would you guys prefer the Telltale achievement approach? I do like achievements to feel like achievements. So I think it's basically what he's talking about here is kind of you just play the game out and you get all the achievements like Telltale games generally do, or you kind of have to go out of your way to get achievements. Which do you guys prefer?
I mean, if we're talking about achievements, like I don't really think you achieve anything when you play through a Telltale game. So I mean, like, I would say I don't like I'm a fan of giving you a certain amount while you play through the story. Like I've always liked that, but I've also always liked achievement lists that actually make you do more different things. I've never been a fan, even though it's easy Gamerscore, especially for short games where you play through a game and get everything because all you gotta do is like do the story. But it's like, did I really do anything? Because you don't do anything in Telltale games. Like you just watch a movie basically, and it's like, 1,000 points. But I mean, that's a whole different discussion about Gamerscore these days and achievements and, you know, the devaluement of the entire system because of these super cheap, super short indie games. But that's like a discussion for a different day. I honestly think that would be, for me at least, a terrible idea. I wouldn't like that.
See, it depends on the game for me, because there are some games that you're just meant to play through the story once and that's it. There's nothing else to it. And by adding, kill 1,000 enemies or die 100 times or whatever, those type of achievements, like unless it's something that, going back and doing it again adds value in some way, or like going out of your way to do something adds value, there's no reason to put those those achievements in the game. They're just tedious. Like, seriously, in Gears of War, it doesn't add anything to the game.
Well, without seriously,
I guess
you
that's a
couldn't
bad
have
example.
Seriously
but,
2.0 or seriously 3.0. You see what they're doing there?
I have a thing where I really don't like the seriously achievements. I think they're dumb and they're just.
I agree.
I don't know. Those in particular are just, they're dumb. But I don't know. I can't think of a game off the top of my head, but there are definitely games where it's like you play through the story and you're like, man, I gotta kill like 900 more of these guys, and I killed like 100 of them to the story. Like, you're not adding anything by putting that achievement in. So games like that are kind of, you play it once and never play it again type of game, I'm totally fine with having an achievement list that's you just beat the game, or you beat the game and there's a couple things here and there. But when you have more in-depth games, if you just got all the achievements by beating the game, I think it would kind of, and especially for every game, it would really basically make achievements pointless, because all it would say is, oh, you beat this game. You got to the end of the story, you beat it.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I guess has some value, but it not kind of the way that, particularly the way I play, in that I like those really hard achievements. I like the achievements that not a lot of people have, like Raw. So it would definitely take away a lot of the way I hunt for achievements, I think.
It's, the Telltale model of achievements works for Telltale games because that's just the way those games are built.
No, they're visual novels. I mean, they're not.
We should actually
have. Okay, let's ask Rand.
No,
are Telltale games visual novels, or are they point and click games? Because I assume you've played visual novel games.
I've never played a visual novel. No,
really?
I never played. No, I don't own. I've never played a Japanese game. I don't own a Japanese system or any of that stuff. So I'm not sure how the Japanese novel games play, because I've never played one. But like when people say point and click, I think of like the Artifex Mundi hidden object games. But that's not Telltale. Like Telltale doesn't play like that. Telltale is like a super simplified version of like Monkey Island for casual like people, like where it's like there's minimal interaction, and
Yeah, see, I assumed you having as much Gamerscore as you do, you would have played a visual novel and know what they look like. So okay, it's kind of hard to say, but yeah, visual novel basically it just has dialogue, like it's not spoken, I don't think. And then you come to a choice, you make that choice, then it has more dialogue and story. You make another choice, has more dialogue, make another choice.
So I've gotten,
it's just Telltale is video, and then it has once in a while those clunky interacting areas that are terrible.
Oh, okay. I've gotten into this argument before, and I'm sure I'll get into it again. And here's the thing: we actually could probably turn this into a good debate.
We should do that.
We should.
We should do that. Because I'll go to town on this one, because everyone disagrees with me, but I firmly believe that Telltale games are visual novels.
There's no way that everybody disagrees with you.
Games.
People argue with me all the time about this.
Okay, well they're games, but they're not really.
Well, what
games.
would you describe Late Shift as?
That is an FMV game.
But it's exactly what you described. You have no control over anything. All you do is pick.
But it's FMV. That's the difference. FMV games are a thing. Like they're kind of their own genre of bad games.
But then wouldn't Walking Dead be its own thing then?
Yeah, Telltale games are also their own thing. So why do they not count?
Because Telltale's the only one that does it. Like, you can't.
Well, Life is Strange does it.
Life is Strange.
But Life is Strange is not.
Did it? I mean,
Life is Strange is different. Life is Strange is an adventure game.
Life is Strange is a Telltale game not made by Telltale. Exactly.
No, it's not, because you play Life is Strange. You actually go around and interact with things all the time. You don't just watch it and then it has a prompt.
I will show you clips of The Walking Dead or Minecraft Story Mode, or yes, absolutely, where you walk around.
Yeah, there's tiny little segments where Life is Strange is like the majority of the game.
No,
you're walking around.
I'm getting upset now. No, literally, Life is Strange is a Telltale game. If I put Life is Strange in front of you, and you
No,
didn't
it's not.
know that it was not developed by Telltale, you would have said, "Oh, it's a Telltale game." It's the
No, I could
exact
tell
same
because it doesn't look clunky and terrible, and interactions look good.
Life is Strange is a Telltale game.
Yes.
It's just a higher production than a Telltale game.
That I'll agree with. It was much higher
Now,
production.
but also, like, you got to think, like, Walking Dead Season 1, they had more exploration than Walking Dead Season 3. They've really limited the amount of interaction that you actually have outside of the cutscenes and the dialogue stuff. It basically is like watching a movie now, whereas Season 1, it wasn't really like that. But they've kind of gotten down to, it's like, okay, most of it is just choosing dialogue and watching the scenes play out, and then you'll have your token, walk around, look for an object, and then you'll have your, that stuff. But no, Life is Strange, that's why a lot of people like Life is Strange, is because it's a Telltale game, but done with a much better production value. Like, more interaction, more walking around, more things to do.
And the thing with Life is Strange, too, is there's a lot of pointless interaction, which, for me, adds a lot to it.
But there's a lot of pointless interaction in Walking Dead, too.
I guess I haven't played Walking Dead Season 1, so...
If I put Tales from the Borderlands...
I gotta play it.
If I put Tales from the Borderlands in front of somebody who's never played any of these games, and then I put Life is Strange in front of somebody who's the same person who's never played these games, I imagine they would get a very similar sense in a lot of ways from those games.
Yeah, because it's a story-driven game.
Well, yes, and you're not doing anything other than walking around talking to people, essentially. That's what you do in those games, and that's fine. You have no problem with it in Life is Strange.
Now, I'm going to have to go play Walking Dead Season 1 so I can argue this.
I brought up Tales from the Borderlands specifically because that's a more recent game, and it's still the same thing. I don't think.
Yeah, but I've played more recent ones. So I played Minecraft. I played Michonne.
Mm-hmm. I haven't played Michonne. That's
and
the only
both of those have like you could just let it idle and let everything time out, and you could get through almost the entire game.
You cannot let it idle. I literally was playing it today.
Okay.
You cannot let it idle.
No, not for the whole game, but there's such a small amount of interaction that you could let it sit for at least half the game and not have to do anything.
Let's pick a scenario in Life is Strange, okay? And talk about what your options are and what you can do. Let's say that we are in the parking lot with the truck in the parking lot in Life is Strange at episode 2 or 3, whatever it is. I don't remember specifically. What can you do? Well, you can't do much. There's 2 or 3 people hanging out around the truck. You walk around, you point at your cursor at certain things. You can kind of look at them and maybe take a picture, I guess. And then you can interact with the people. And then when you interact with the people, you choose a dialogue option. Well, what do you do in Telltale games? It's exactly the same thing.
Except Telltale will progress whether or not you choose that dialogue option.
That is... Okay, are you saying like...
Yeah, they do. They time out.
Okay, you're saying specifically regarding the dialogue system, you can choose to not choose.
And not just the dialogue, but I mean the story just keeps going.
No,
it doesn't stop and wait for you.
If you stand still in any Telltale game...
in one of the rare moving sections, that it's not just stuff not happening.
Okay.
We'll do okay.
We need to do a debate about it.
We're going to do a debate. It's decided. It's decided. I'll do my research and we'll do this.
That sounds good.
We'll have this debate. Send us fuel. Anybody who agrees or disagrees, send us fuel.
Questions or whatever you want us to talk about. We'll do it because this will be fun. I think.
Randy, let me ask you this: you get very defensive when you compare Life is Strange to Walking Dead. Is that because you think Walking Dead isn't anywhere as good as Life is Strange? Like, it's like demeaning to Life is Strange to be in the same cat. Well, that's funny because Walking Dead Season 1 is better than Life is Strange.
Oh, okay.
It has more...
It's not Walking Dead specifically. I have an issue with Telltale as a company and the way they make games.
No, I mean, their engine needs work, but as good as Life is Strange is...
I think they're lazy.
There's as good as it is, there's no more, like, the emotion that you feel at the end of Walking Dead between Lee and Clementine is unmatched. Like, it's not, you can't find that in Life is Strange. I'm sorry, it just doesn't exist.
Okay.
Like,
we'll see. I gotta play Walking Dead Season 1.
And then Tales from the Borderlands is it's leagues beyond Life is Strange. At least,
see. Do you have to like Borderlands to like it? Though?
No,
'Cause
no, that's the
I
thing.
really
You
don't
don't.
like Borderlands.
I don't care for Borderlands that much, but I was blown away by how good Tales from the Borderlands is.
It's so good.
And considering like
Well,
Game of Thrones was
we'll see.
terrible, the new Walking Dead season isn't very good. Guardians of the Galaxy is god awful.
Hang on, we're only one episode in, but
It's
yes,
terrible. That
it
first
isn't
episode
great.
is bad.
It's not great.
And the Batman game's good too.
I
but,
liked the Batman game a lot. I really liked the Batman.
It's good, but I mean, nothing compares. Like Tales from the Borderlands. Oh my god!
Yeah.
Like how that game is great. That game is so fantastic. Yeah. And if you had to like make me choose between that and Life is Strange, I'll choose Tales from the Borderlands. I'd rather take season 2 of Tales from Borderlands than season 2 of Life is Strange.
Yeah, for a lot of reasons. That's kind of a complicated thing. Yeah, I agree with you, but
those are strong words.
no, for sure. Yeah, I agree.
We'll see.
Well, it is a good topic for debate, and we will.
It is.
We will get into that. That'll be fun. That'll be a good time.
This is gonna be a good debate. It's been a while. It's been too long since we had a debate anyway. So
Yeah.
we'll get this planned. We'll get this. I'll play. Maybe I'll try and play Walking Dead this week. Maybe this weekend. We'll see.
Well, here's
I have it. I have it twice.
I was going to say, which version do you have?
I'll probably play it on 360 just because I'll usually like to do the 360 version first.
Yeah. That's the better way to go.
And I'm sure it looks exactly the same on both
exactly
platforms because it looks like it's 10 years old. So,
all right, so let's move on here now. Keith 271179 asks, which of your statistics on TA are you most proud of? Completion percentage, leaderboard position, TA ratio. I don't know. Do you even have anything to be proud of, Rand? Like, what would you even be happy about?
Little known secret, I don't care about TA at all, period. So I don't look at my rankings on there. I don't care. I think this may be heresy, but I think True Achievement Score is utterly ridiculous and pointless. I guess I like Rich. I like the site he created, but I don't hold True Achievements in any esteem whatsoever. I don't care about the website. I don't care about any of the stuff it does.
Fair enough. What about you, Randy?
see, it's tough because I quite like my TA ratio. I like my number of completed games, and I like my completion percentage. None of my rankings... Well, I also like my Games Windows Live ranking, because I'm really high on Games Windows Live.
You have to pick one.
Man, I don't know. I'm probably going to have to go... It's very tough between ratio and number of completed games. I think I have to go...
Hold on. I got a question for you, Randy. Completed games. No DLC, DLC you own,
all
or all
DLC.
Okay,
all
that's
DLC
the
all
only,
the way.
That's
yeah.
I don't know why people think like, oh, well, I can just choose the DLC that I own or no DLC. It's like, no, it's all DLC or nothing.
It's
all DLC or nothing.
I'm wholeheartedly agree with you.
It's like you can fool yourself and think like, when you look at your gamer card that it's 1,000 out of 1250, and you can fool yourself all day and be like, well, it's complete. No, it's not.
Nope.
No, it's not.
Nope.
Yeah,
it's not. Yeah, because I'm almost 83% with all DLC included, regardless of whether it's started or owned. So 411 games. So I consider that pretty high. But
you just went up that much more in my book, by the way.
Oh my God, we had a moment here. That was really sweet.
All DLC is the only way to be.
No, here's the thing. When I first started like really tracking my stuff and following where I wanted to be, I was at like in the mid 40s, I want to say, for completion percentage. And of course, that's by the default tracker, which is no DLC included. And I am still under that tracker. I agree with you guys both wholeheartedly. It should be all DLC. It should be everything, because whatever the game is the game. And
it's there. The achievements are there. I mean, that game is not complete until it says this many achievements out of this many achievements, and those numbers match.
Yep. The only thing is, I wanted to wait until I was at 70% before I switched over to all DLC. So right now I'm at 68.5%. I'm getting real close.
You're getting close.
Oh, yeah.
Getting close on cheater numbers.
And then I'm going to drop to whatever, like 60% or 65%.
It probably won't be that much, though.
It may not be.
Unless you've got some Killer Instinct will hit you pretty hard, probably.
Yeah,
but
I'm sure.
Other than that, I mean, most of the time the DLC only adds like 5 achievements anyway. So
yeah, we'll see. So
I don't know. They've been getting a little bit bigger lately, but
Minecraft will hit me hard too because they just keep seemingly coming out with.
Those are probably counted though because they're title
that's
updates.
right. They're title updates.
Yeah,
they don't
they're
count.
title updates. So those ones will probably hit you anyway.
That's a good point.
I don't know if the title updates count, but they do in calculations, which is why Minecraft shoots up like 20,000 TA when a new DLC hits and no one has it.
Yeah,
or nobody's started it because it's a title update.
So the next question comes from McLovin Legend, who asks, if there was a site like TA, which combined Xbox achievements and PlayStation trophies into one kind of combined stat, would you play more PlayStation titles? Now, Rand, I assume, going along with what your answer was last time, you wouldn't really care that much if there was an aggregate site like that.
Well, I believe an aggregate... Well, I want to say there's an aggregate site already exists. They call it like the Metascore or something like that. I've seen pop up on my feed, but I don't know. Like, I guess it would be cool in the sense that like you could. I don't even know where I was going to go with that thought. I mean, TA. Not like maybe I should rephrase what I said before. Like TA, the website is really cool. Like I like that Rich built it, and I like being able to log on and seeing what people are doing and stuff like that. That's the main thing I use the website for. But like, I don't look at like my score or my completions or my percentage or any of that other stuff. So I mean, if they built a website that built in PlayStation stuff too, I mean, I would just use it for what I use TA for now. I just would like to see what people are playing. Like that's pretty much. But I mean, I wouldn't use it. I guess I don't know. I don't have a PlayStation, so I wouldn't be on there anyways.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I mean, I might play 2 games. I might play I would play Demon's Souls. If I had a PlayStation at all, I would play that anyway, because Demon's Souls is a great game, and I'd probably go for all the trophies in it because it's a great game. And I might play Bloodborne, because that's kind of like Dark Souls.
Do you have all the Dark Souls achievements?
I do, twice.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I've actually done them all 3 times. I did them on another account, too. Yeah, I'm a big...
You like it that much that you've played it multiple times?
Yes.
So
so twice was on my tag, once on Xbox, once on PC, because it had a Games from this live list.
Right. So if you want,
twice there, and then I did it again for fun.
If somebody only had like 2 achievements in Dark Souls 1, and maybe you visited them, you could possibly get all the rest of the achievements, is what you're saying.
Yes. Theoretically. And theoretically, maybe that was what I played it for fun.
No,
when
of course.
Somebody came to visit me. But yes, Dark Souls is a fantastic game. I don't know why I haven't played Dark Souls 2 yet. I have it twice. I'm sure it's great. I haven't played Dark Souls 3 either. I played Dark Souls 1 3 times instead. Yeah. But yeah, Dark Souls. I like Demon's Souls more than I like Dark Souls, though. It's I want to say less forgiving, and I just kind of like the setup more. But both super good. I'm really disappointed though, because I started looking into it and I was wondering, it's like, okay, well, Dark Souls is is obviously on all the platforms now, and it's a big deal. And I was thinking, well, why don't they bring Demon's Souls over? And then I think there was talk of a Demon's Souls remaster or something. And it turns out Sony actually owns that IP. So there's no hope of it ever coming to Xbox. So even though I guess From Software develops it, whoever develops Dark Souls, developed Demon's Souls, Sony owns the rights to Demon's Souls, so it'll never leave Sony's consoles.
Sony they have Bloodborne now though. So
yeah, they have that too. I mean, that's the kind of same deal.
Basically, all that stuff. That's one of
Bloodborne plays differently. I mean, it's similar and it's developed by the same people, but it plays a little bit differently. Where Demon's Souls plays just like Dark Souls, it's just harder.
Right.
So next up is JJ Aldana, who asks, what are your E3 predictions? He is thinking that Nintendo will unveil some new Metroid games, Microsoft will push further with new technologies, and Sony will blow everyone away because of the trailers and game reveals. Now, I gotta say, I would love for Nintendo to announce a new Metroid game. I am less optimistic that that's going to be the case. But we will see. Do you guys have anything specific that pops out in your mind?
Lie Engine.
Yeah, Lie Engine. Yep. We've heard
Lie
that.
Engine and my Rainy report card. After that'll be the live tweeting raining on E3. That's my prediction.
Predictions. Well, I don't really follow much of the Nintendo news, but Metroid seems like a safe bet.
Does it?
I think it does.
Okay.
I mean, it seems. I mean, I've seen some chatter about it, but PlayStation. We're gonna see what the developer of, I forget their name right now. It's
Insomniac?
No, not. No, they're doing Spider-Man. The ones who do.
Oh, I want that Spider-Man game so bad.
God. See, and the
Crash.
Infamous.
Oh, okay.
The Infamous series. Who Sucker Punch? They're gonna show off their new IP. They're not doing Infamous 3, so that's gonna be probably something cool. And yeah, you're right. Like Sony will show off probably some gameplay trailers for Death Stranding and Last of Us 2, and Destiny 2 will be on stage with them, and Red Dead 2 possibly will be unveiled there. Star Wars Battlefront 2 and stuff like that. As for Microsoft, this is where it gets a little tricky because there's not much they really have to show.
Scorpio.
We don't know about. Most of the show's going to be about Scorpio.
Whatever. Like, I mean, we already know about Scorpio.
Well, they see the thing. They don't really have any, like, we know what their first party studios are making. You might see an Ori 2. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if the trailer came out for Ori 2, probably coming out next year, or 2019, probably next year. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw a trailer for Fable 4, like a CGI trailer for Fable 4.
Really?
Who would be
that?
Who would be doing it though?
Some second party team.
Yeah.
The Studio Gobo just signed some deal
Fable
with
3
Microsoft.
was so bad.
Yeah, but it's not going to be done by Lionhead, so I wouldn't be surprised if you saw both of those.
I would like a Fable 4. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Fable's at the point where they need to do the reboot thing. Like, just don't make a Fable 4. Just make a...
Sure, yeah, do Fable,
whatever,
Legend,
Fable.
or Fable Awesome,
Fable.
or whatever you want to call it.
Assassin's Creed will be debuted on their stage because they have the marketing rights for the game. What else? I think BioWare's new game will be there too.
New IP, right?
Yeah, they're one that's by BioWare Edmonton.
Oh, interesting thing. I walked by the BioWare building when I was in Montreal last week, and I didn't even realize it. I didn't know BioWare was in Montreal. And I saw the EA building. Yeah, it's a big. Yeah, they got like a big thing, and they got like a fancy EA plaque on the street level, and that's the only thing that indicates that it's an EA building. Otherwise, it just looks like an office building.
Yep.
I think we'll also see like Elite version 2. Like the second coming of the Elite. Yeah, the Elite controller kind of built for Scorpio, but like a second version of the Elite.
But the one that lasts more than 6 months.
Yeah. I mean, I've had discussions with the guy who actually makes the Elite, and he asked me what I would like to see in it. He's like, what would make, like, if we were to put a feature in it that you would go out and buy it immediately, what feature would that be? And I'm like, well, are you saying, like, I have an Elite controller, like, if you guys announce this tomorrow, I'm immediately going to get it? And he's like, yeah, what would you want to see? I'm like, turbo functionality?
Ooh.
He's like, okay. So I was like, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff they can do with the Elite, but one of the things I thought that was missing was turbo functionality on all the buttons and whatnot, which I think would be cool.
The only thing that could get me to buy an Elite would be a 3-year warranty. 3-year warranty for like wear and tear, because like, I mean, it's got to last as long as 3 normal controllers. Like, I don't know. It's just the fact that everyone I know who has an Elite that has had it wear out in less than a year is pretty bad.
Yeah.
And not just like a little bit wear out, like to the point where it's basically not really usable anymore because it drifts so bad or whatever. Except for Proulx, because he put his in the oven.
I didn't put it there. It happened to fall into the oven.
It just walked into the oven. It's like, ooh, oven.
All right. Well, let's move on since that's embarrassing and I don't want to talk about it. Lord Chibello asks about our thoughts on the ACA Neo Geo series. He says he wasn't a huge fan because he couldn't afford to buy the system. Hang on, I want to get through his and then we can get into it. His buddies and him used to get together and rented one of the cabinets for a weekend, and they played so many SNK games. Going through the games now sure brings back good memories for him. The graphics don't look horrible in this day and age and have given him a greater appreciation for Neo Geo. I have some pretty strong thoughts about these games, but you guys both laughed. Let's hear it.
Well, they don't run well on Xbox One.
Oh my
any
God.
Of those games.
Oh my God. Can we talk about this?
They are so like poorly optimized. It boggles my mind how.
Why should the Xbox One stutter when trying to play these 30-year-old games? For the life of me, I don't understand it. It is ridiculous that I can't press the start button without worrying if everything. Like my whole apartment's going to catch on fire because of how hard this is going to crash. It is crazy to me,
especially at the price point. Like we're talking like $10 a game, $11 a game,
7 or 8.
I'm looking at Canadian prices. That's why. Yeah, 8 US. Okay.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they were free. They should not. They should not behave the way that they do. When you get an achievement in these games, it feels the whole world has stopped because you're like, wait a minute, have I crashed? Is this going to glitch, or is this actually going to go through? It is awful. Awful.
It is awful. Now, some of the games are cool. Like Metal Slug is really cool. It's a great game.
Love Metal Slug.
Some of the fighters are cool too, but let's be honest, most people playing this stuff are playing it for the achievements. And you know what? It's like almost a racketeering business because you got 1 or 2 of these things a week that come out, and people buy them, and they're $8.
See, I'm not even kidding you. Like, I had this planned for Shovelware Empire. Like, Hamster Corporation is like a real world Shovelware Empire that acquired the rights to Neo Geo or something. Because, like, I was thinking, like, yeah, so what if you come out, you have a game, some easy game that, you just make a template and you can swap out the characters, swap out the background, whatever. The game is built, you just swap out the levels. And you make, like, one of them a month. And it's like $3.
Yeah, instead of $3, it's $8.
Yeah, 1 to 2 hour completion. Yeah, you get, like, 2,000 people that buy it every month. It's like, yeah, you can live on that. A Shovelware Empire.
I mean, who knows how many of the games they're going to be by the end of the year on the Xbox? I think
somebody was
own
predicting like 50 to 60 because of I think they're pretty much all released on PlayStation, and they've got some listed on a website. So yeah, I think it was somewhere in the 50 to 60 range.
And here's the thing. I know I've seen people talk about like how they're just going to wait for them to bundle those in some super bundle. I don't think Hamster Corporation is the type of corporation that's going to care about sales. I don't think those games are ever going to drop in price, to be honest with you.
And most of the time, bundles don't even save any money. It's usually just the 2 things put together, so you don't have to do 2 purchases.
I would not be surprised.
Sometimes they cost a cent more. Like, it'll be like, $4.99 each or $9.99 for the bundle. Like,
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if those games are $8 for eternity.
Yeah, me neither.
I played through, I think, 2 of them with little to no problem. I got to a third one that I had real frustration trying to get the last 2 achievements. I don't know if I'm going to go back. I don't know. It's just too much stress and too much frustration to to deal with. I do not like those games. It's awful.
It was funny because I haven't played any of them yet. I've been kind of waiting. I'll probably do another achievement binge or easy completion binge at some point and really dive into them. But a few weeks ago when Warren was here, he was playing one of them on my Xbox, and yeah, it was rough. And even like just trying to figure out the controls. Like, they didn't even bother to, like, change the button
Oh
names.
my God, the
It's
button
like,
things.
So,
What?
it took, like, we're both looking at this like, what is, like, how do you get to the menu? And it's like, I don't know, like, X is A. And, like,
It's so weird.
what are they doing? And I don't remember. But yeah, I mean, it looked like it was, I think he was playing Turf Masters. And that one looked like it ran okay. But I wasn't paying that much attention because I was playing something else on the other side of the room. So
I think the Sengoku one was the one that I really struggled on and wasn't able to. I played it for like, okay, so these games are supposed to be less than an hour to completion, and I played this one, tried to do this one thing for like an hour and a half, and I'm like, I can't, I just can't. It's stupid.
it's like it's my Truth or Lies.
Kinda, yeah. When you know you
like,
should be.
I played Truth or Lies for like
not.
6 hours, and like that's a 0 to 1 hour completion. That is not a 0 to 1 hour completion. No way.
Well, maybe for
The
everyone
game
else.
is a broken mess.
All right, thanks, Lord Chabello. And finally, our last feedback here we have from T-Virus Tyrant. With the ever-expanding Xbox One library, are there any games on the 360 you want to play, but know that you realistically never have the time to play? I know, Rand, that you spend most of your time here on the 360, right? So
all my time is dedicated to the 360. No, I don't go back. Like I think I've mentioned this before on this podcast previously. I'm done with the 360. I've been done with the 360 for years now. I played every game I wanted to play on that system. Anything I didn't play is because of a reason, and I can't wait for the day Microsoft announces they're shutting down the 360 servers so I can see everyone freak the F out on TA.
It'll be a disaster. See, that's why I'm getting close to being done with all my online stuff on the 360. The only one that's really going to be a problem is the 5,000 matches on Quake 4. So that's like 200-300 hours. It's easy, but that's a lot of time. So, but for me, speaking of Quake 4, the German version of Quake 4, I would like to do it because it's my last game that I have on the 360 that has a like big real leaderboard achievement. But I just honestly can't. If it was just a leaderboard achievement and not the 5,000 matches, I might think about it. But the fact that I'd have to put in another 500 to 600 hours or something to get the completion after already doing the other version, I just don't see myself having the motivation to do that anytime soon. Because I don't want to. When I did Quake 4, I spent 8 straight days playing it. That's all I did. I got up, I played Quake for like 14 hours, and then I went to bed for 8 straight days, which was terribly boring. And it was not playing with any other people. It was just me and 4 Xboxes. And that wasn't even enough to get the top of the leaderboard. It was close, but I had a couple more days of playing in the evenings to finish it off, and a couple weeks before that where I was playing in the evenings. So it's long, and I'm not even halfway done because the matches take longer than the leaderboards. So I would like to do it, but I don't think it's going to happen unless I inherit like $10 million and just don't work ever or something, and then just play Quake all day. But I don't foresee that happening. So it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, I actually seem to be spending more time on my 360 now than I have been in a while. I just wish all the games were backwards compatible. That's all I would want, and then you could do whatever you want on your one Xbox. The one that's called One is the only one you need, but it's not because you need the other one. So, yeah. I'm sure there's lots. I go back and play 360 games daily, so I will be doing that for a while, I think, to try to catch up. But that's where
I do the same. I mean, I probably spend more time on my 360 than my One, but it's just for me. It's like there's a lot of games on the 360 that I still want to play that I foresee myself getting to, and there's just not really that much new that interests me that comes out on the One. I mean, it's just. I don't know. There's a few things here and there, but I don't get excited. Like, we know I'm a rain cloud. I don't get excited about games. So,
yeah.
I don't know.
No, I understand. So we have to pick. We have to pick here, guys, what the best feedback was. And I got to be honest, I think we have a clear winner because we spent a good chunk of time.
The Life is Strange?
The Life is Strange question.
Yeah.
It was Agent Yugs, I want to say, is what it is.
Yeah.
I think, I'll make an executive decision and give it to them because not only did we talk extensively about this.
We planned a debate.
We planned a debate about it.
We planned a debate, and it's going to be a heated debate.
Oh,
this
for
is
sure.
going to be a good one. This is going to be like Dead Rising. I mean, it's going to be... It's good.
Well, you'll be wrong, yeah. But yeah, totally.
Yeah, no, I will not be wrong. You'll be wrong. So we'll see. But we're going to have to find a new moderator, but that's okay.
Oh, that's true. I didn't think about that. We'll figure that out. We'll get all those details settled and everything. Yeah, so we're heading here to the end, guys. Let's recap what we did as briefly and as much as we can. I'll start what I've been doing this week. I've played a few things. It is Telltale month here at Z2Z, so I've been slowly working my way through Minecraft story mode on Windows 10, and it's good. It's a little different because I'm playing it on my second playthrough with a different character and doing all the opposite decisions. But, it is Telltale and pretty predictable, so nothing super awesome.
So does Randy hate this month then?
He may. He may, in fact, hate this month.
I should. I didn't think about it that way, but I should.
Here's the thing, though, and here's something to add a little bit of fuel to Randy's fire. I've also started Back to the Future.
We were talking about this earlier.
God. So Telltale's first... Walking Dead kind of broke Telltale into their current model, I think. But Back to the Future would pave the way for it, I suppose, would be the way to put it. I don't know. It's hard to say. But Back to the Future on the 360 is a terribly broken game. It is... I hear a lot. Frequent criticism of Telltale games are the jankiness and the bugginess and the kind of the engine problems that people have with Telltale games. Generally speaking, I can get through it, past it, or I don't really even experience it if they're bugs. It doesn't bother me. Man, Back to the Future feels like it is about to explode every second that you're playing that game. There are things popping in and out.
Did Hamster Corporation have a hand in it?
I may have. It is so awkward and clumsy and like buggy and weird. It's just like, and nothing's happening.
You know what game that resembles?
Tell me.
Back to the Future is very, very much like Life is Strange. When you think about it, it has a lot of interaction, a lot of different places to go to, a lot of like pointless conversations, a lot of puzzle solving that isn't present in any of Telltale's later releases. But if you actually compare what you do in Back to the Future to what you do in Life is Strange, they are very, very similar.
That's actually very interesting. I'll have to think about that as I'm...
That's why when people say Life is Strange is a Telltale game, that's why they're correct, because that's how Telltale games used to be.
So you're talking old... Okay, I might be able to get behind old Telltale. Not current.
Interesting.
Old, maybe.
I would still argue the other side.
I still want to play the Telltale Jurassic Park, too.
I have it, and I plan on playing that soon.
It's on sale, but I don't want the digital one. I want the disc. So
anyways,
I won't buy it on sale.
Yeah. So anyways, been working my way through the Back to the Future. It is tough. Like, I enjoy Telltale games. I'm a fan of them. And it's hard for me to get through this game. Like, and I like Back to the Future. Like, it's weird because it's like, God, like, what do I have to deal with now? What kind of nonsense am I going to have to do? And
I feel like we should do this on Shovelware Cemetery or something.
Oh, we could totally do Back to the Future on Shovel. The things that you see in that game, like the pop in and the weird glitches.
I was going to say, it's probably going to produce some funny bugs too, which is even better.
I haven't played the one version. I plan to, but man,
that's probably just as bad.
That 360 version feels just like it's going to crash at any moment. Anyways, just going on here. I played a little Halo 4. I played some with Freem, but he wasn't very good, so I kind of quit. Probably won't play that again. Played some Halo ODST, which still working on getting that done. We're working on Left 4 Dead. Finished most of that up and working on Left 4 Dead 2. And then we now have a boosting group going through Gears of War 4's Horde mode, which will be interesting, to say the least. But yeah, that's what I've been playing this week. Randy, what about you?
Well, I haven't really felt like playing anything this week, so I played very little.
Sorry, Randy. I hate to yell and interrupt you, but you're probably going to bring this up anyways. And Randy and I started our third stack of
Saints Row Fun.
Saints Row Fun, unfortunately.
Boy, it's fun.
Oh, man, it just gets better every time.
Golly gee. Yeah. I just want to eat those great pancakes.
Oh, God. Okay, so go ahead. Go ahead.
It's so bad. So Saints Row Fun, and of course I talked about Vaccine, and I played both of those in the last 2 days. So before that, I played Oblivion a little tiny bit and a little bit of RuneScape, but I just didn't really feel like playing games this week or really doing anything. So I pretty much came home, tried to sleep, and then washed dishes, and then tried to sleep again. So it's been a pretty boring week for me.
Tell us what you've been up to. I bet you have played a few more games than that.
Me?
Yeah, you.
All right. Well, I mean, it's been a while since I've been on, but
Sure.
I'll give you some lowdowns of some of the stuff I've been playing recently. At least, I played Little Nightmares, which is utterly fantastic. Very much like Inside, very much like Limbo. It's a kind of a 2D side scroller, but you still have like 3D movement, like in the foreground and background. I highly recommend it, especially if you like Inside. It is that good of a game. In fact, I think I gave it a 9 in my video review. I adored that game. What else have I played? NBA Playgrounds. It's kind of cool. It's like NBA Jam if you're really feeding for an NBA Jam type game. I played that for a few hours. It's interesting. I don't know if I'd recommend it for $20 though. It seems kind of steep for what that game offers.
It's also not 2 versus 2 multiplayer online. For anybody who thinks it is, they say it's coming later. And by the way, I only know this because Proulx has played it. He's a big basketball fan. But it seems ridiculously stupid, like we were talking earlier.
Especially a game that has like NBA on it.
Yeah, it's
some huge financial backing, obviously.
It's a 4-player game that you can play with 2 people on one Xbox and 2 people on the other. But you cannot play 4 people online. It's so dumb. It's so.
Well, you
stupid.
can't even invite your friends to play either. So that's another thing that sucks. Also played Outlast 2. I adore that game as well. I love that game. I played it twice now. Beat it first time on normal, the second time on Nightmare. I don't know if I'm gonna do it on Insane without reloading the battery this time. This game is twice as long as the first one. It's got a lot more insta-kill sections, but I really enjoyed that game. I literally just started Rhyme earlier today. Can't really talk about that, but can't wait to go back and play it. Is what I'll say. I did finish my first playthrough of Prey. That game is quite good, except for the combat.
I was going to say, how is that? It's kind of interested me, but I'm cautious.
Okay, so the star of Prey,
because it looks shocky.
It is. So Prey is if BioShock and Deus Ex had a baby. Is what
so
Prey
it's System
is.
Shock.
Yeah. Okay. So the star of the game is the space station Telos One. Like, I haven't been compelled to search in like every corner of an area like since BioShock. Like, this is almost like a fully realized world that hasn't existed since Rapture for me. Like, I loved everything about this game except the combat. The combat is bad in this game. I didn't enjoy it.
Well, even the combat in BioShock 1 was pretty bad. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it was not good.
The combat in Prey isn't very good either, but I mean, my first playthrough was 30 hours. I gave it an 8.5 because everything else about the game is really good, and it's just the combat brings it down. I also played The Surge. It's kind of like a sci-fi Dark Souls. So,
I saw that. That looked interesting.
yeah, it's really interesting. You can like cut off people's limbs and take their armor and stuff like that. It's really cool. And I don't really play Souls games, but I was really interested in this one. But the main game I've been playing this week is Injustice 2. I'm a huge DC fan. I'm also a huge fan of NetherRealm Studios. Like, I love Mortal Kombat. And I'm a big story guy in all my games. So I was super pumped to play the story mode in Injustice 2, and I was not disappointed. You pretty much get a 5-hour movie to watch fight along. Like, it's so interesting how they do cutscenes that lead into the fight, and then you fight, and then it's a cutscene out of it, and then it's another fight, and then it's like the cutscene in the story in Injustice 2 is better than most like other games, honestly, and it's a fighting game. And I love
usually
Injustice
you expect just a pure kind of gameplay game out of a fighting game. You're not really going to get much else.
I mean,
out of it.
you basically get like a 4-hour DC animated like movie that you watch on Netflix or something. It's really good. It's a
heavy sigh. Heavy sigh.
Why? What are you sighing?
Because and this is not gameplay related at all. I'm a huge Superman fan, so the Injustice universe bothers me to no end.
Oh yeah, he's not a good guy in Injustice.
No, he's not Superman. So
he's the bad guy. Brainiac's the bad guy in this guy, but still Superman's not very good either.
Yeah. So, but it's fine. I get it. It's fine. It's an alternate universe. I really don't have that much of a problem with it, but I hear it's good, and I'll probably play it at some point, I'm sure.
Is that the Man of Iron?
Stop it. Stop your nonsense. Stop your nonsense.
I can't not do it.
All right. Well, cool. All right, guys. Let's see here. You guys have any exciting plans coming up? We're just going to wrap up here. This is the last bit. I think I'm not going to be around next week. I have a wedding to go to across the country. I'm super excited about it. One of my best friends from childhood is getting married, and I'm going to go and have a good time. But other than that, I want to kind of get everything done that I've been working on. I'm more in cleanup mode than start new games mode. But you guys have anything? What do you got going on? Anything exciting?
I was thinking, since I hit 5,000 subs on YouTube, I might do a huge giveaway. My giveaways can get pretty big. I think my last giveaway, I gave away 20 games, I believe. Last time I checked my Excel folder, I have 45 game codes I could give away. So I might do some sort of huge celebration for that, but, for me, expect, daily content on my YouTube channel. I'll have a review for Rhyme whenever that releases, and also Friday the 13th as well.
Was that finally coming out?
Yeah, that'll be out on Friday next week.
I wonder if it's going to be good.
I will let you know if you subscribe to the YouTube channel. You'll find out.
See, I'm interested in that one because it's like, Evolve tried to do that asymmetrical thing. Mm-hmm. Didn't really work. But maybe this one, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll be interested.
There's just going to be a bunch of video games for me, doing a bunch of videos on YouTube, maybe some streaming now that I got more time. So that's it for me.
And I think, I was going to keep playing Oblivion, which I might do. But now I have to start researching for this debate. So I'm checking out prices on Amazon. I can get Tales of the Borderlands for $10. I can get Back to the Future for $15. I think Back to the Future more for shovelware, but
yeah, for sure.
But we'll see. So I'll probably play some Telltale games, maybe. I've been in kind of in cleanup mode as well. Oh, we did forget to talk about playing Halo Spartan Assault.
Yeah, that's right.
Kind of don't really like.
No, it's not great.
I like the quadruple dip, but I don't know. I don't know if I like that. I didn't pop any achievements in it. But we might play some of that again. Yeah, not too much going on. I'm going to play a bunch of stuff this weekend, I think. It's got nothing going on, but we'll see if I can get through Walking Dead or something.
You should. You absolutely should, because it's a wonderful experience.
And then I can just tear you apart in that debate. You're going to be wrong.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But, guys, it's been great fun. So, Randy, what about Knobs and Discos? Can you tell us about that?
Well, we've got a couple this week. Bad news. Rain cloud. We have an unobtainable, an AFL Evolution silverware. Don't know the details, but it's unobtainable. And we also have a discontinued achievement in Stealth Inc. 2, A Game of Clones, Connoisseur Club. The community servers have not been restored as the developer promised. And the achievement is probably going to be flagged as discontinued soon. So another one of those community achievements that dies quickly. What a surprise. And that's it for Knobs and Discos.
Right, that's easy peasy. All right, guys. Well, this is the end here. I'm going to give it back to Freem. I think we've the three of us here have kind of really shown that we don't need Tarragon or Freem to do this show. We can kind of just do it on our own. You know what I'm saying? I'm kidding. I'm teasing. I'm kidding.
Spin off podcast. Yeah. Spin off. Zed to Zed. What do you want to call the new show?
Destiny is the worst. I think maybe. Yeah. No, I'm kidding. Of course.
Mm-hmm. I mean, who needs Freem and Tarragon anyways?
Nobody needs Freem or Tarragon. You know, the people that started the show and maintain it. Anyways,
maintain it and edit it and
edit it, and
we don't need that.
Cultivate, we
don't need that.
We kid, of course, but our part is done, and I want to thank you, Rand, for coming on the show again, and hopefully we will see you very soon again on the show here.
Yeah, thanks for having me again. It's always fun to be drenched by the rain cloud, you know?
Yeah.
This happens like once a month, and, you know, it's always something to look forward to. I mean, I didn't think we'd be talking about Life is Strange for an hour and a half, but hey, I don't think anybody else really did either.
Yeah. And see, that's what happens with this show is we just, you know, something sets us off and then we just go.
Yeah. And of course, thank you, Randy, for making this at least a partly cloudy show here.
Oh yes, absolutely.
And we will all see you very soon.
All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the show. That's about it. Before we go, I do want to have just a touch of zombie news here because there was a game announcement that came out this week, and it mashes some of my favorite elements from all sorts of games. It's called Bloody Zombies. This is being developed by Paw Print Games, being published by N Dreams. And it's coming to console, so we'll actually get to see this on our Xbox sometime this year in 2017. The launch trailer here, it essentially is... So, of course, it's a zombie game, and it's a brawler, a side-scrolling beat-em-up brawler-type game. It's got these cel-shaded graphics. It really reminds me of, like, those old arcade cabinets, like the Ninja Turtles or Simpsons, but most specifically like Double Dragon. That's the vibe I get here. That sort of like, just fist pounding, brawling type action, and full of cheeky British humor. It does what I'm actually really surprised about. And if you go to their website here, and there's a link in the show notes if you want to take a look at the trailer, I'm sure you can find it somewhere else. But this is their End Dreams specific homepage for it. They do have what is a dying type outlet for indie games is online multiplayer. So you can play with 3 others. So have a 4-player, both couch co-op and online. And then they're also doing this in VR too. I'm not sure how VR side-scrolling brawler is going to work, but I don't know. Well, I guess we'll find out. And then it's bloody. It's funny. It looks great. I'm excited. I love me some brawler zombie games. So yeah, there you have it. Bloody Zombies by End Dreams, coming out sometime in 2017. Don't know the date, but I'm sure we'll get some. There's this thing coming up, where they do a bunch of announcements. Oh yeah, E3, maybe there. Anyway, so that's it, guys. That's it for the show. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for listening. If you, as a listener, would love to help us out, Giving us a rating on iTunes or wherever you listen to this podcast is such a great way to spread the word. Telling your friends, letting them know what we do here would be absolutely wonderful. Stick around for after my little sign-off here. I have those winners that you promised, and I'll catch you up on all of the contests for the month of May, which is drastically coming to a close. You can also come to our website, z2z.com. That's where I've posted all the show notes, credits, links like to Bloody Zombies or other things we've talked about. And, of course, there's so many ways to talk to us. The best is probably Twitter, at Z2ZZEDTOZED, or email us directly, contact@z2z.com. So, thank you, everybody who helped make this show possible. Specific thanks to Proulx, Randy, and Mr. Randall Thor 19. And this, I have been Brandon. I hope you've enjoyed yourself. And to all of you achievement hunters and Gamerscore junkies out there, thank you so much for listening, and we'll catch you next episode.
We interrupt this podcast with a special announcement. In just 3 short months, we have accomplished something that we didn't perhaps think that we would do, but we persevered. And I'm pleased to announce that I, Angel SK, otherwise known as Joe, am better than the Americans.
And I, Bookmarley 155, am better than the Americans.
And I, Keith 271179, am better than an American.
Hiya, it's me, McLovin Legend 1. I'm also better than an American.
And me, Teddy, I'm better than the Americans and did not have anything to do with us starting Titanfall 360.
And a very special shout out to Nerve Bullets, who has joined us in our journey, but sadly due to family holiday has not been able to, let's say, mark the occasion in the way that we wanted to. But you know, in a few seconds we're going to be Gen 10. Woo!
Yay!
Woo! Achievement!
Yay!
All right, guys, community roundup time. I'm finally going to pay off the contest winners for the month of April. I know I've been woefully behind, but, you know, that's such is life. Hey, you know, nice and busy, it happens. But we had the Gamertag Challenge for the month of May. We were able to get 25 participants to get in on that, 2 of which needed subs. Other than that, the 23 had the full allotment, meaning 232 chances, and any number from 1 to 232. And with a 4% chance, like everybody else, the winner of this month, M. Surin. He wins a separate contest other from his own Mocas contest. So congratulations, M. Surin. That was for the month of April. The month of May, of course, is Mitreal B. Get those things in, post them into the forums, letting us know that you indeed have completed the tag or wish to make a submission. I mean, there's a bunch of subs in there, so I mean, you can still get just one entry if you fail to get those eyes. Still jump in, let us know so that you want us to check your tag, because other than that, you don't have a chance. So post in our forums if you're interested. We've got May then needs to be done by May 31st. If you obviously achievements through the month of May. You can still post into June, but obviously you can't use any of the June earned achievements toward the tag. So make sure you wrap that up before the end of the month. And then, yeah, we've only got about a month left, or a week left, guys. So make sure you stay on top of it. Next week's episode, I will let you know who the month of June is, and put a bow on May. I mentioned Mocas because M. Surin just won there. Well, we do still have the Mocas Challenge going on for May this month, and it is the Forces of May. So we're looking for words that are embedded in the Star Wars crawls, all episode 7, so 1 through 7. You can find a spreadsheet of those in the forums that lists all the individual words. I think I'm up to 10 now. It just turns out Phantasmagoria is not in any of the Star Wars crawls. Yeah, that's kind of weird, don't you think? But, there's plenty of those, A's, War is in there. Anyway, you'll find it. It's pretty easy, and it's a nice, easy contest to get a part of. So good luck on that, and make sure you, presumably you should probably post those words. And if you use the link that Spanky and Sprockle put together, it's nice and easy. You can say what episode and which specific word you're looking at. So there you have it. Nice and tied up in a neat little bow. Random to-do list. This is probably our best contest. Tarragon did such an awesome job setting up the scanners and having everything work. I love this thing. It is so much fun, and it really drives all of my video game playing. After I'm done recording here, I'm going to go try and grab 2 more achievements on this list, so wish me luck. But, of course, let's not forget about April. Our top achievement earners in April, let me mention this first. We had 92 people in the month of April unlock at least a single achievement, so 92 non-eliminations. If you failed to unlock any achievements off your list, you were removed from the automatic renewal of your list. But don't fear, you simply can just ask to get a new list back. There's no limit to how many times you ask, how many times you get kicked out. We understand life's busy, life's tough. Like mine, where I can't pay people for contest winnings in the month of April because I'm too busy. So we get it, So if you want to get back on the horse in June, or probably at this point it's a little late for May, but yeah, you could technically still get a list for May. It doesn't take that long, but absolutely get on for June. We would love to have you, and you have a chance to win. So for the month of April, our top earners. Kingsman 2625, congrats. He had 23 of his 25 for a whopping 6,000 TA points or random to-do list points. Second place, Big L, nice showing with 22 achievements, and 4916 for his points. Right nipping at his heels, NBA Kirkland, 21 achievements, but only 2 ratio points below. Crunchy Goblin 68 and Weasel Pizza both ended up with 19 of their 25. So nice work, gentlemen. That's pretty darn good. The top points for April follow suit in the same order that I just mentioned there. So of those 92 participants, we had a random draw for the winner. There were 462 achievements earned off random to-do lists across the 92 persons. That is fantastic. Nice work, community. Keep up the great job. But this week, the winner, he had a 0.87%, so less than 1% chance of winning. Unlocked 4 achievements this month for 600 ratio points, which means between the 4 achievements, they all added up to 6.2 ratio. So those are 4 easy achievements that our winner, Reset 42, ended up grabbing. So nice job. You have a prize code in your inbox at the forum, so congratulations on that. Keep clicking away on your May lists and be on the lookout for the June lists right around the corner. Finally, we do have our challenge for the month. The month of May is Telltale month. We're looking at Telltale story games. The challenge for April is the Gamerscore Agores. I am over halfway through all the submissions, and I will put together a master list so everyone can see what everybody else submitted. And for that, we're giving away 2 prize winners. One is a random draw based on the number of submissions. The second is, of course, to the top prize earner. So be on the lookout for that. I am doing my best to compile all that data, but you'll have that very shortly. Do not forget about May, though, with the Telltale games. And remember, they are the story games, not the action games, the poker game, all those other ones. And it has to be Telltale, so don't nods. Life is Strange, although as excited as I am for Life is Strange 2 announcement, and it's probably one of my favorite games of all time, does not count as a Telltale game. So, finally, one of the big achievement-related contests that's happening in the world, of course, is the GTASC, the Great True Achievement Score Challenge. We have just finished up period 19 this last week, and none of the teams we're tracking have been eliminated. There are 77 teams left here in the home stretch. We are not quite halfway through the year, so that's pretty darn good for 77 teams. still remaining. On the individual side, well, we also had no eliminations from our community, but not without trying. We had a few near misses. The total count is down to 238 individuals, and I have a feeling that some of these near misses, they've been down here before. So best of luck to whom I'm going to say right now on staying alive. But we had Big L again. He was last week's near miss. Well, this week he survives by 5 spots with less than 100 points before elimination. Not to be outdone, Matriarch, 1 spot below him, so only 4 spots from elimination, also less than 100 points. But, again, not to be outdone, we have an individual who, by the slimmest of margins, I mean, like, it's not even possible to get closer because it is a single point and a single spot has kept this individual alive, and I am talking about CS Geek Squad. You cannot cut it any closer, sir. TA Ratio Decay could have killed you, so good thing you play all those old, tired games because that kept you alive for 1 more week. Best of luck moving into week 20. I have a feeling there's going to be some cuts and some bloodbath here in the near future. Finally, I want to direct everyone over to the Discord chat that we had, discord.me/Z2Z. We've made 2 groups, so if you want to have a nice, we've got a clean group where you can talk. That place is very safe for work. You can do whatever you want. The other one was our main chat, and we just thought, hey, maybe some of the language or some of the posts and things might be a little, maybe too much for people who are, because I watch at work all the time, and so I don't want, as I love that type of content, I think it's funny, but I certainly don't want someone to walk by my computer and see something inappropriate or anything. So we've split the groups just to kind of make sure that, if you're in a place that you can't see sensitive material, that is sequestered into its own little chat channel. So that's the reason for the most recent changes. There's a lot going on over there right now. So just, keep watching, keep your tabs on. And if you got any suggestions, you want to talk to me, reach out to me. I would love to hear from you. Absolutely. You guys are what help keep this community going. And you're a vital part of what we do here at Z2Z. So with that, I think that's about it for the month, or for the little recap here on this show. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say. So I will come back next week and announce all of the June contests that we have lined up. Should be a fantastic, fantastic month. So happy gaming. Good luck to everybody. And don't forget to get your submissions into the website so we can count you and issue prizes. So with that, best of luck. We will talk to you next week. Have a good one.
What follows is further discussion of Life is Strange and does include spoilers, so if you don't want to be spoiled, please skip to the end of the podcast now.
Because one of the endings you could literally do, because one of the endings is very, you could just continue on.
Yeah,
right?
you could.
Mm-hmm. You could literally, and that's probably the one they're going to do. If I was a writer, because it's like you said, you have a couple choices, new characters, but I think you can't do that. But maybe
I have a theory, though.
What's the theory?
I have a theory that was what I think they were going for. I mean, we can cut this. We'll cut here. We'll say the theory, and then we'll cut back to no spoilers. My theory is every time Chloe is supposed to die, period. That's what the universe says. Chloe is supposed to die. And every time that you stop her from dying, something bad happens. And it gets worse and worse and worse until she dies. And she will die no matter what happens. Period. Because that's what's supposed to happen. So if my theory holds and that's the canon ending, I don't know. The world might explode.
It's such an interesting case because it is a singular story. There's not much to add at this point. One way or the other, I would argue.
I guess the other thing we could do is we could have this as a mini spoiler cast at the end.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well.
Yeah, let's do that. We'll keep going.
But it's how do you can't. I mean, you're telling this very specific story in this very specific way, and it's just meant as this story. You can add bits and pieces to the beginning or end or whatever, but at best, it's just going to be extra stuff. At worst, it's going to take away from what you know. So I don't know. I don't envy the task of the writers.
See, this is what happens when games get popular, because if the game wasn't popular, they wouldn't do a sequel because there wouldn't be any financial backing. So you'd only would ever have the first season, right?
And there would be, and I don't think this story was written with the intention of a sequel.
Probably not the way it ended. But like you look at a game like Quantum Break, you know, similar stuff with time travel, things like that, right? And like, yeah, it's never going to get a sequel, so that's the ending you get. But that game could get a sequel because it seems like they kind of left a hook into it. But we're not going to see it for, you know, financial purposes. So a game that was probably planned as a sequel is not going to get it. And a game that wasn't planned for a sequel seems like it will.
Is going to get it. Well, and I was actually super happy with BioShock Infinite the way they ended that, is because it ended it. Like, it could have had a million sequels, but they chose to end it, which I was really, really pleased about, because it had perfect ending. Great, just let it be. Like, don't ruin it. Don't run into the ground. There it is. So that's kind of why I'm hoping they just, you know, kind of go with the new story. Go with the new story in the same universe with kind of similar elements.
See, I'm going to tell you right now, if it's different characters, I won't care.
I'm still going to play it. But you can.
I mean, I'll still play it.
You didn't care about Max and Chloe when you first played the first.
That's what I was going to say.
You're right, yeah. but now you do. Now Life is Strange is Max and Chloe just as much as Walking Dead is Clementine. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
And
I mean, I guess I was kind of the same way with Dead Rising. Like, when Frank wasn't in Dead Rising 2, I was really disappointed. Because, especially with Dead Rising kind of having an ending of the story that could have had more to it. So yeah, I can see that. And that totally affected my opinion of Dead Rising 2 for a very long time, was the lack of Frank. I mean, there are other things too, but yeah. I don't know. I mean,
you know, it's either way. I don't envy the writer's task, because I don't see a clear way out of this. An easy way to kind of.
I mean, you could continue as just Max. I mean, you could have the ending where Chloe dies, and just keep, you know, have some other thing happen, you know, years later or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's the right thing to do. Would that still be interesting?
Yeah, I know. That's the thing that's tough.
Or compelling. I don't know. Maybe it is one of those games that I would almost be tempted to say, if I was in charge, I would almost be tempted to say, at the risk of burning people like Rand here, let's make Life is Strange almost like an anthology. And number 2 is a totally different story. Like, completely different. Only connected in the universe or whatever. So, whole new cast of characters. Nothing's the same. It's a different location. Everything. Because at least then you have the opportunity to tell another interesting story without being kind of bogged down by all of these expectations that you've kind of put forth for yourself.
Well, and that's kind of the other thing I'm thinking too, is like, man, they're going to have to write something amazing to live up to Life is Strange 1. And by writing a different story, now maybe you're not competing with yourself so much anymore.
Well, and I also think is when they do it, if it is different characters, that sets the tone for any potential future Life is Strange, because now it's like, okay, season 1 was Chloe, season 2 is new characters, so season 3's got to be new. But then if you set season 2 as a continuation of Chloe and Max's story, well,
then you have to keep dragging
season
it on
3's
and on.
Got to be
on.
another continuation of the story, unless it's just like, no, we're done with Life is Strange. Like, this is the end.
Yeah.
You know, like, so it's going to be interesting to see which way they go.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's that way. Because I mean, like, you see, what show is it? American Horror Story does that, where they have the same actors, but they're all different characters every season, and that works really well. I mean, I haven't watched it. I think I watched like the first 3 seasons. But I mean, it's a great way. You kind of have the same kind of tones, but a totally different story, totally different setting, every season, but it's still the same show, and the people that watched the first season and enjoyed it are probably going to watch the second season and enjoy it, and so on, because it's just it's the same kind of elements, just a different story. And I do hope they do that, because I think
it could be.
I think that's the way to go.
Life is Strange could be like the Black Mirror of
exactly
video games. Yeah, sure, why not? I think that's. I don't want to say safer, because that's a big risk, because it is a huge risk, but it's also more interesting and possibly more rewarding, especially when the first is regarded so highly. I don't know. It'll be interesting.
And after you get past that initial upset, it's not going to happen again on the third one.
Because now what this is.
Now we know. That's how it's
I can't believe we've had like a 15-minute discussion about Life is Strange.
But it's so good, though. I mean, I didn't think. I thought this was going to be like a 30-second news ad. Now we've got a spoilers at the end thing. So I guess we can just cut this and put it at the end.
Yeah.
Or something.
Or just, I mean, the spoilers part I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you want to just go right into spoilers right now and cut it, put it at the end, we can.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're spoilers now. I mean, like, from where
all right.
we
think about it,
let's go.
Like, the ending is, okay, so the first ending, she goes back in time or whatever, but doesn't kill Chloe, right? Or doesn't intervene, so Chloe's dead. Now, obviously, you can't really continue on from that ending because she's dead. Now, you can continue on from the ending where, like, the town's destroyed and they're leaving the town. Because then you could have a situation where, like you said, Randy, before, where it's like, well, things get worse and worse because the universe wants her dead. Now they go to a new town and say they're in college or something. Say it's set a few years later. But now the universe wants her dead. So you have a new town and the same things happen. And then you can kind of still go through those 5 episodes of preventing Chloe or whatever, like, I think that's the ending. That's the only ending that they could possibly continue on, right?
Yeah, it would have to be. I mean, unless you continue the story of Max with a different, with a different character,
another new character
with Chloe dead.
Well, I don't know, but everything was so set up with the art teacher being like the guy who was.
I know.
It
was so good.
It was such a good self-contained story, especially if you chose the right ending, which is the ending where you don't save Chloe. Because then it's a really self-contained story. It tells a nice, has a nice theme, it's all wrapped up in a bow. But now it's like, nope, season 2, because it was successful. Now it's like,
now we gotta cash in on it.
Yeah, now it's like, do we do it again? Do we do Sam and Chloe, or Max and Chloe again, but in a new town a couple years later? Or do we do new characters? It's like, they have a big decision to make,
Yeah. And I hope, they're obviously brilliant writers because they wrote that story. So I'm hoping that they had some great idea somewhere along the way, and they're like, hey, this would be great. Let's do it. And they were like, yeah, let's do it. So I hope they do that, because I really love that story in that game, and I hope they don't ruin it. Because that can happen. Sometimes a sequel, it's like Dante's Inferno. The DLC made the game worse. You don't have to play it, but it did. It made the game worse. So it's the fact that it existed made the base game that was good worse. So,
all right,
yeah,
that was
good. So that will be sorry, Tarragon.
Sorry about that.
We kind of got on a tangent.